with us. Flock with us, flock with us, flock with us.
Is there a format?
There is no format.
Okay.
Just slide in here.
Is this the sit down with joerilla?
Look.
Yeah.
They're hot, yeah.
So this is the sit down? Is that the name of it now?
I guess that could be the name of it. I guess I always have the larger head. I'm trying not to sweat so much over everything. How you running?
I'm fucking great. So,
This is it? This is dope.
So is there anything in particular? I mean, do you want to run this some kind of way, or do you want to start at the beginning, or do you want to start? Do you want to start talking about
How far in the beginning?
yeah. Do you want to? How do you want to do it? Just tell me. Where do we go? What do we start talking about? What is this about? Am I going to be promoting a thing? Do you want to talk? Do you have an intro?
This is how we do it.
Okay.
That's exactly how I do it.
Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
So we're doing it now.
Okay.
We're live.
Yeah, so does it go, the sit down with joerilla?
Yeah, it's not even close.
Dun, 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 dun.
Am I framed? I can't see if I'm
Right.
framed over there. I'm framed.
Yeah, you're in there. Yeah, I'm just super hot over here with the light on me.
See, I wish I had some of that light on me.
Well, if the light went to there, I think you'd be better off.
Let's switch it.
The sit down. See, that's a lot better, I think.
I should have you on this doing this for me.
The sit down.
Okay, so
With joerilla. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
the podcast.
Shasta. No.
Shasta. Shasta. I don't watch Shasta. So the podcast is Flock with Us.
Flock with us.
Right, and these couple first episodes are just me introducing my people and getting to know them better.
Okay.
So right now we're with Jay Dee
Hell yeah, we
of
are.
imjd.com.
Yes, sir.
And this dude is a artist, publisher, No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Author.
author. There's too many things to name.
Yeah, musician.
Recording artist,
Yeah, recording artist, musician. Yeah, actually play instruments, which is rare for.
What do you play?
I played drums for about 7 years, and I play guitar and bass. None of them.
professionally.
I did play.
Like, could
drums
you hold your
professionally.
own? Like on a
Yeah. I played
On a-
drums. We were playing in bands when I was young. We were playing in bands, and we weren't even old enough to get into the venues, but they had to let us in because we were the band. So
Damn.
yeah, it was pretty. We played Cannery and a lot of those places.
So
downtown. Some of
the
the places are still down here.
That's dope. The idea is this, all right?
Okay.
I take everyone to
Out to dinner.
uh-huh.
Okay.
I take everyone listening
Yes.
to the year 2001. And you should probably turn your phones off.
Yes, that is so true. Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah, as long as I can record it. I can
you
laugh at
yeah,
it later.
you absolutely can.
Kinda-
Yo. Man, I forgot to turn my phone off, man. I'm in the middle of recording right now a podcast, and my bad. No, you good. I just forgot to turn my phone off, and so literally you're on the podcast right now. So.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you from Iraq?
Yeah, you're fucking Iraq. This fool is in Iraq. Wow. Yeah, in the middle of the war zone.
Iraq.
And where at in Iraq?
son region.
Are
Yes,
you
sir.
currently fucking any goats?
No, I'm not. That was a early part in my life when I was
Okay.
hanging out with the white settlers.
What?
Okay, and it's not goats, it's sheep. Okay.
Oh,
The
okay.
ones that your ancestors used to fuck and still currently fuck.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll just.
And apparently that's why you live in Fairview, because there's an abundance
Ah,
of livestock there,
nice.
and you have this huge fenced-in yard
Mm-hmm.
and lots of wooded area in the back, so you can make all kinds of noise with them if you want.
Well, thanks for letting everyone on the
So
podcast
they can
know where I
they can
live.
buy your ass all to sleep.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Would you? So, since you've confirmed on this podcast that you actually do fuck sheep, you want to tell everybody your name?
Joshua Moore. That's my real name.
Oh, that's great. That is so good.
The pseudonym of Jay Dee's godfather.
Nice. This is some bullshit. Yeah, so when my phone rang, we're in the middle of this podcast with my man joerilla, and the podcast is called Flock with Us, and so we're sitting here talking, and then my phone rings, and I'm like, fuck, man. And he was like, yeah, you should probably turn your phone off. And so it's recording right now, so you are on the podcast.
Joe Rilla at that point in
Yeah,
time.
but
Otherwise, you wouldn't have had this awkward conversation.
yeah, well, but now you're on the podcast. So how does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, listen, I've done some commercials and
Oh, yeah?
been a part of some films here and there and stuff like that. So I mean, it's really kind of second nature to me at this point.
Ah.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Joe Rilla, I've heard a lot about you, and hopefully this
by the way, this is Zabar Zabari.
The legendary.
The legendary Zabar Zabari. Okay. Calling in.
All praise to Zabari.
Very
Sounds like-
candidly. Actually, Zabar was driving behind me on one episode of the Nolensville Road episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, do you remember that, Zabar?
when you shot at the guy's car.
That's
Yeah, that. Yeah.
I do remember that when you brandished it, you brandished a 9mm firearm, you hung it out your window, and you shot at a silver fucking Datsun or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah, it
Allegedly.
was allegedly, and it was allegedly a 380, not a 9mm. It was allegedly a 380, and I allegedly did that. You allegedly saw me do it. This is all.
I just saw a person. Allegedly, not allegedly. My eyes work pretty well at that age in my life. At that point in my life, I saw a young man that was kind of like straight down. It kind of looked like a shitlock, dreadlock thing in the back.
Yeah. Thanks.
He had a hat on back. I do remember this movie.
Oh yeah.
And I remember him leaning over in his car, shooting out of the passenger side
Mm-hmm.
at another vehicle.
Yeah.
And this person fled the city.
They did flee the
jumped
scene.
on the interstate, and
Yeah, they did flee the scene.
this person, I do know the person's name. I'm not sure if I should mention that.
No, you definitely shouldn't mention that. Also, you should probably get better Wi-Fi in your fucking third world country. So that you should probably get better Wi-Fi in your third world country, so that the connection won't be breaking up as we're having this podcast.
This is the most unprofessional podcast I've ever been a part of. I've only been a part of a few.
Listen, you haven't seen how professional.
You guys are just.
I could go all day long with this shit.
No.
We're gonna have to call you
No,
in.
okay, yeah, okay.
If you want
No.
an interesting motherfucking podcast, you have to let me know.
That's the one I want. I want that one.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah, that ain't but that's not today though. That's not today's podcast. So you just called in. We didn't know we were accepting callers.
You're on the line.
Hey, well, listen, you are now. I mean, if you listen this motherfucker live, I'd log on somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're gonna call you later, Zabari.
Okay.
Fuck, man, really, dude?
The full name? The full government? Should I
Damn,
bleep
dog.
that?
Yeah, you should bleep
I
that.
should bleep that.
Okay, brother. All right, I'll call you back.
I'm gonna bleep it.
All right.
Okay, brother. All right.
All love. Wow.
All right, no.
He gave everything but your birthday.
Yeah, fuck. He was telling my address and what the fuck, man?
That's a lot of.
You can't trust this guy.
No. You shouldn't have started with the goats.
Yeah,
He would have probably went. He would have been a lot easier.
It's hot in a motherfucker. In here,
It is.
man.
Try not to sweat. I got the red cheeks like Santa Claus.
Nice. Okay, so flock with us, and then so we were talking about we're talking about bands. We're talking about music.
Oh no! This is where I was
Moved on.
going. That's
Okay.
where I was going with that.
All right.
So, I was taking it back to, and my story comes much later throughout the history of the podcast.
Okay.
So I was taking it to 2001.
Okay.
That year, I walked into Mars Music,
Yes.
and I needed some. I was looking for equipment.
Cables of some sort, also.
First time I was looking for equipment,
Okay.
and I walked in. I ran into this guy named Richard. Now Richard wore sweatpants, and then the 3-button-up short sleeve Mars.
Yes. Yeah,
Attire.
Black.
He had long hair, and he was
like
balding
a
up
mullet.
top.
Yes. Yeah, kind of black mulletish.
Right. And he was like,
Yes.
he was a knowledgeable,
Yeah.
kind of a weird guy.
Yeah, he was.
So I trusted him.
But I think he's a good dude, though. I think.
Seemed like a good dude. He
I
knew
don't
music.
really know.
He knew
Yeah.
music stuff. So
Okay.
anyway, I was trying to get into this and that, and then so Richard he did his thing. He went above and beyond for me, and then
Rest in peace, Richard.
oh really?
No, I don't know.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Dude, I don't know this dude.
Okay, but you
Okay.
work with Richard.
Yeah, I work with him.
You
I mean,
know.
I remember him, but I didn't
I
keep
didn't know
up
if you
with
looked
him.
him
I
up.
don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. So anyway, I go somewhere else to get my equipment, but now I need cables.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so
You gotta have cables.
I park at Mars, which is 100 Oaks,
Yep.
right? Outside 100 Oaks, Mars, what is it now?
Fuck, I don't know. It's like a Ross or some shit, I think.
Okay, Ross. Yeah. So it's a Ross. So outside was this truck, fully wrapped, with a rap album cover on it. And I always thought,
yeah.
man, that's a dope truck.
Thank you.
Who the fuck could wrap a whole truck back then? It's 2000, 2001,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And this is a camp compilation, UNT, there's a Target Man on the bottom. I was
Yeah,
like,
double
dude,
disc, yeah.
right, someone's doing dope shit. Anyway, I go in, I'm looking for Richard. I
Keep
walk.
in mind, I was fresh out at this point.
Oh, we'll get to that.
No, we don't have to get to that, but I'm just timetable wise.
All right, so I walk through the Pro Audio. I walk to the back. I need cables for the sampler. And I'm looking for Richard. I don't see Richard. I'm looking for a shiny spot, his sweatpants, all that.
Yeah.
Can't find him. So I see this other dude with super long hair. In my mind, I'm thinking, hey, drummer, he'll know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to buy these cables. Will these work? And this man looks at me and says, what do you do? I said, I make beats. He goes, nah, man, you don't want those. And then walks me over to the monster cables. I bought the cheap red and white ones. You bought me the monster ones.
Oh,
It
yeah.
says,
With the gold
yeah,
connections.
you get
yeah.
these. And I said, oh, I need these. Yeah, these ones work better. They have gold connections. And I said, okay, same price. He said, I'll take care of it. So immediately got the hookup. Discussed with you what I was doing. Come to find out, that was your truck outside.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You do beats? I do beats. Okay. I rap. We got a couple albums out. You should come out to the studio, she said. Okay. I'll come to the studio.
This
Damn.
is such a great story, by the way.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because so much of it I don't remember. I do remember, but I don't remember specifics and details. This is what I love about
So you said you're
hearing
telling
stories.
me, I'll hit you up. And I had my two-way pager.
Yeah,
And he was like,
yeah.
I'll page you. And I was like, okay, we can call. So we exchanged numbers. And that number stayed locked in my phone this whole time.
Yeah.
Same number?
Yeah.
You have the same number?
Same number. Yeah, I've had the same number.
So I'm excited and hyped that
20 years.
this white, long-haired, pretty cool looking dude. Allegedly white, long hair. He said he has a... So, I took a chance because I was not in the Nashville scene, nowhere near it. Because I just did beats in Spring Hill for a Spring Hill rap group. And as country as that sounds, it wasn't that bad. So I took a chance. And then
the Spring Hill rap group was
the Hill Mafia. The Hill Mafia. We were
all right. So where did Reaper Records come
that's
in? That's another story.
Reaper Records is later.
Okay.
But it all ties in eventually.
Yeah. So look, tell the story of the first time you came. I was living in Kingston Springs at the time, and I had a studio in this bedroom. And so the plan was...
Okay, the plan was, hit me up. You said, come out to the spot. And I said, cool, where's it at? You said, Kingston Springs. I said, where the hell is that? So you tell me, where's no Google Maps?
No.
I think I might have printed it out on MapQuest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know how I gave you the address. Like, I think I had a business card with my address on it. I'm pretty sure I had business cards then. Yeah. Because I was really big on, like, print. I always have been, like, handling business and having business.
And that would have been just the UNT Target Man.
Untouchable Records with the, yes.
UNT, okay.
Yeah.
So we plan to link up. And then I start to drive this long, damn near 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Up 65.
Yeah.
Rush hour traffic.
Through Nashville, too. Not the back way either. You went through Nashville.
Well, I come up 65 and hit
440 though.
440, yeah.
Yeah, but
okay,
look,
so yeah, it is
through Nashville, yeah.
But not downtown Nashville.
No.
Okay, so I'm driving. Picture this: I'm going to meet this random dude that I met at the the Mars music store.
Yeah.
And I'm going to meet him random in the middle of nowhere. I'm driving an hour and a half, and I pass a truck. And he says, "Meet me at Highway. What is it? 100? No, what is that out there?
The exit.
What's the exit?
It's off of 40. It's exit. I don't know. It's Kingston Springs exit.
Kingston Springs exit.
Yeah.
So I get off there and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for him to call. And I call him and he doesn't answer. Call him again. He doesn't answer.
Do we have cell phones back then?
We have cell phones.
Okay.
And then he calls me and he says, yo, I'm going to be late. Is that the voice? I don't think that's the voice.
Maybe. Yeah, it's kind of close.
I said, yeah, I'm already at the exit. He was like, yeah, my truck broke down. And I said, yeah, I think I just passed you. He was probably thinking, why didn't he stop?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So what'd you have to do, tow the truck?
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is what I love about stories. Because there's so many things I remember very vividly. And then there's so many things that I don't remember all these details, and people tell me all these specifics about it, and I don't remember that. You know what I mean? So I don't remember. I remember the truck breaking down. I remember you coming, it being that night. I remember you passing and saying, "Yo, I passed the truck," and I'm like, "Damn, dog! Like, why didn't you?" You know?
Because
like,
I was on 440.
Yeah, and that was my way home.
And I don't know you.
Yeah.
Why am I going to just stop and pick you up?
But I'm the person you're supposed to meet.
We're 3 days in meeting.
Yeah.
For the very first
was it
time.
3 days?
Yeah, I mean, it was like,
that's pretty good.
Came up to the week and then hit me up and we planned to go for the weekend because we were super hyped.
So how the fuck did I get home?
I think you called your gal.
No,
you had to get the truck towed.
Yeah, I got it towed. I don't know. Maybe I.
So the amazing wrapped truck broke down the night I came out. Which should have. I guess most people would have been like, it's a sign. That truck never ran again.
No.
That truck.
No, I don't think it ever did. I think I gave it away, actually.
You did.
Yeah.
It sat at Kingston for years.
Forever.
2 years.
But I had the other one, the
Oldsmobile.
Chameleon.
Oldsmobile.
The Oldsmobile.
The big body.
Yeah.
The huge.
With the huge untouchable records across the back.
Yeah.
It changed colors.
With the fat ass.
Yeah, it had
it laid.
Yeah. And it had the PlayStation 2 in it and TVs before TVs were a thing in a car.
Oh, wow.
It had the TVs in it and the PlayStation 2. And it had these audio bond shits and it like was ridiculously
audio bond.
But yeah. So then we get there. We finally link up. We do link up that night.
Yes, we do. Late.
So-
It's late.
Yeah, it's fucking mad late. Yeah.
And this dude has got me out of his house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a decent house. It's a nice house.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really, I'm gonna put that right there. It's a really nice house.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then so.
And then what you should come into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk into a bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
It's very how big? Probably about 8x10.
The bedroom was it was small. It was probably like a 10x12 standard bedroom. Yeah.
Right.
But I had so much shit in there.
You did. It was
like so
everything
crazy.
you see here in that little
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
With a mic.
Well, the older version of things.
And a
but yeah.
PC.
Yeah, yeah.
That ran Sony Acid.
Acid, yes.
And you got to click save
Absolutely.
every time you're done.
Fucking absolutely.
Because it would crash.
You better click it during. So yeah, and then you had the rolling joint.
So I had the
with the tires.
No, Yamaha.
Oh, the
Yamaha RS 7000.
Mm-hmm. With the tires, the model car tires as the knobs.
Little rims. You gotta see. You probably gotta see a picture of that to make sense.
Yeah, that's not. So look, imagine a model car tire shoved over a knob, so you can spin the tire around and adjust the knob.
It was innovative.
It was dope. It was dope.
Oh wait, no, you gotta tell the story.
Yeah, so,
the hammer.
Yeah, so Joe comes in, and he sits down, and I'm sitting at the desk, and so I'm trying to pull up the computer and shit, you know what I mean? And it's like one of them old joints, so
it's like Windows 95.
Yeah. And so and so it's booting up, and so he's pulling the gear out. So, but he's got the bag for the beat machine in the floor. So you got it in the floor in front of you. So you're sitting and you're leaning over, getting the thing out.
Right.
And
it's like
so,
a cymbal bag.
Yeah. And
red
so,
velvet in the middle.
Yeah. And so you're leaning over, and as you're leaning over, you're having to lean towards the floor. So he's leaning towards the floor. And he's having trouble leaning over. And so he's like, yo. And he reaches in his waistband and he pulls out this pistol and he sits it down and he looks at me and goes, I'm sorry. I don't know you. And then leans over and I'm like, it's cool. You know what I mean? It's all good, you know. But, so yeah, that was and then we listened to a bunch of tracks, and that was the meeting. That was the first sit down.
Straight to beats.
Yeah, straight to the tracks. And then it was shortly after that we were doing the first project, because I had so many artists coming out at the time on the label that Joe was just making track after track after track after track. And I was just trying to, and it was like the amount of tracks that you were putting out at that time was absolutely insane, because I know we had so many artists at the time. I mean, Tank was still recording then, and Tot was there, and Too Intense was there, and of course Slim was there.
Locke
was there. And so everybody was still recording. I mean, Cosmo was still recording some then, and so it was like, it was just so many tracks. But like, you were making tracks for everyone. So it was like 6-7 artists on the label, and you were making tracks for everybody, and it was dope. It was
but I would that week I would make the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
That weekend I would come out and I would audition
Yes.
for whoever was there.
Yes,
on which ones I would play it and they would pick.
Yeah. And it was way before even like email was really. I mean, I know email was popping. Email,
but you couldn't fit.
Yeah, we weren't. Yeah, and we didn't know. Like, honestly, I just didn't know a lot about computers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I recorded my first album in the 90s, in the late 90s, before I went to jail. And we were recording, when we started recording at Entropy Studios with Jim and Shane, when we were recording up there, we were recording on ADATs then. And
that would have been standard, industry standard.
For sure, then. And then at some point during mid-album, they moved to Pro Tools. They got into Pro Tools.
That early?
And that early. 1998. And 97, 98, on the cusp. Pro Tools just come out, as far as I knew. You know what I mean? And they got it. And they got a system. They had this dope ass studio and Soundcheck, and so they went into Pro Tools, and then we started recording on Pro Tools mid album. So I actually finished my album on Pro Tools, the first album, and they transferred everything from ADAT and dumped it into Pro Tools. That was the process. But yeah, my first encounter with recording actually was a 4-track actually, but yeah, I went
like
to
a tape deck.
Yeah, 4-track. Yeah, absolutely. And like you couldn't fuck up. Like you had to spit it all the way through. Like we were spitting all the way through. Like we were spitting hooks and everything and coming back and overdubbing everything, and you couldn't mess up. We were fucking sitting around and recording on the 4-track, and you had to pass the mic real quick to do the next verse to whoever's doing the next verse. You hurry up and pass it to them.
Really?
And and then they pass it to and, come back around, pass it to whoever's gonna do the hook.
Wow.
Oh, it was nuts. And I was making all the beats at the time on a Casio keyboard and a little rolling drum machine, and but that was like a backwards fucking story, but
it was still fun.
But
though.
yeah, no, it was cool. So I started on a 4-track, went to Jim and Shane and them, played them the ideas. They did everything, and we recorded the first album, and then I went in, and then I got back out, and then I got out in 2000, and then 2001, 2002. We put out Camp Compilation, and then that's when I met you, and then we went from there.
And we went immediately into the Camp mixtape. What is it?
Yeah, it's it was
right after.
Yeah, it was what do we even call that? I don't even remember what it is.
It was a mixtape. The Camp Compilation. It wasn't Camp Compilation. It was
a camp. I think it was
UNT
just a
camp.
Yeah.
Untouchable Burgers Camp.
Untouchable Burgers Camp.
I'm sure there's a name for it.
There is, and I don't know why. I fucking can't remember.
Drawing a blank.
But super dope though. Yeah, that whole project was really fun. You know, to me that shit was super fun. That was like some of the funnest times I had.
Sweating.
Music. Yeah, it was dope.
In the middle of winter, sweating your ass off in a tiny bedroom.
Because there was so much gear in there. I had so much gear in there that I didn't even use nor know how to use.
And it was hot.
Of course it was fucking hot. You know, but I wanted the illusion of the studio, right? So like I had power to everything.
So everything powered on.
Everything powered on.
Racks.
But most of it I didn't use it. You know, and I didn't know how. I just didn't know how.
Right.
You know, very interesting fact, because on my first record I had a distribution deal. My first record, I sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of my first record, completely independent. And that shit was in Sam Goody's and Circuit City and Tower Records and Cats Records and Tapes. I had a chain-wide distribution deal in the Southeast. And so it sold thousands and thousands of copies of my first album, right?
That's the life I live.
That's the life I live. And then whenever I put out the Camp Compilation, I just had everybody working. You know, everybody was recording music. Everybody was writing and recording music. And I recorded it all. I didn't make all the tracks, but I made a lot of the tracks.
Yeah.
I recorded everybody. I engineered every session. I mixed every song.
Who mastered?
And that one didn't even get mastered. I mastered it. My first one got mastered by Eric Wolf Mastering, back in the day. But the Camp Compilation didn't even get I mean, I ran it through like a T-Rex software, right? Like I didn't. Dude, I did everything, right? And then Cosmo did all the artwork, and I didn't want anybody to have a crease in their face on the fold down of the CD jacket.
Like all the other ones.
So I gave everybody their own panel. You know what I mean? Because I wanted
artists?
it to be fair.
5.
It was 5 total, me and 4 others. And everybody got their own panel. And we did matte black CDs. We did matte and gloss black CDs mix. We did all this stuff, man. We did all this next level shit. And actually, historically, that's the first rap double disc to come out of Nashville. Is the Camp Compilation. And it went to stores. It was in stores. I had a distribution deal, and it went to stores. And a super funny fact about that record was that there's no compressor on any vocals. There's no compression. There was no legit mastering. There was no nothing.
Right.
Like, because I did it all myself, and I didn't even know what a fucking compressor was, dog. Like, I didn't even know, you know? And so we were just recording music, you know? It was just fun.
And it was dope looking. The artwork, the double disc, it's not like what people think today double disc, 2 discs in a
Right.
plastic sleeve.
Yeah.
This thing had the fold out
Full jewel case, yeah.
jewel case. That's
Yeah,
what they're
that's
called.
what they're called,
A
yeah.
double disc and
Yeah,
full
and they
jewel
call
case.
4/4. It's called 4. You know, you can get 4/1, which is like full color and then black and white. But we did 4/4. We did high gloss and matte. We did matte on the disc. I mean, I spared no expense. You know what I'm saying? But like, but that was how it always was. I mean, as far as packaging goes, Cosmo did all the artwork.
Saddle stitch.
Yeah,
Saddle stitch fold
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah, and that one wasn't saddle stitch. That was a big panel fold out. It just kept
It's
folding
almost like
and
a
folding
poster.
and folding. Yeah.
Like a poster you would get in
definitely
the
was.
Kellogg's.
And so, but like I said, I spared no expense. Cosmo was actually going to Belmont at the time. Matt Osborne, and he was going to Belmont at the time. And I was actually signing some papers for him to get extra credits for doing all of Untouchable Records promo stuff.
It was dope.
And so, yeah,
It was
he's
dope.
He's always been dope.
It was
He's always been
next
dope.
level. Like the
And so-
only one doing shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
that to that degree, were signed artists.
Yes, and Pistol Boogie and Fresh. At the time when I was at Entropy recording, Buck and D-Tay had just linked up, and Pistol Boogie and Fresh were the ones recording, and that people knew in Nashville.
Wow.
And so yeah, man, that was the 90s. But yeah, in 2002, man, I mean, I guess Haystack was around then or whatever.
Oh yeah, Stack was doing this.
And then he was doing his thing. He was on the radio and everything. But like I didn't know any of those cats.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like have any affiliation with any of those cats. I didn't you know, all I knew was to do what I needed to do for me and my people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I totally funded everything. Still to this day, that's been my thing, was I'll bet my last on me and mine, you know?
Right.
And so, so yeah, man, that's how we came to be here.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell them in the process of recording the mixtape, the first mixtape I was on?
Yes.
It wasn't one of those days, was it? When we went to Cancun?
Oh God. Oh,
Because
God.
that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
Now,
that
still,
story's funny.
I
It's
still
funny.
didn't know you too well. I just
Right,
knew that you were a
right.
super cool dude.
Right. And we were having lunch, and
You
we
were-
were talking about business. I invited you to this place that I love and still attend to this day because I'm ritualistic as fuck. But, yeah, I invited you to lunch, and we went to eat at Cancun.
Right.
And we were talking about, I mean, God knows, we were talking about business. Of some
Business,
kind,
period.
yeah. Some kind of music, whatever it was going to be.
Still fresh. Like I really didn't. I just knew you were, a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful soul.
Thank you, sir.
Very passionate.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be a part of it so bad. So at any opportunity I could, I would come out, talk with you, sit with you,
Yeah, yeah.
eat
Play
with
video
you,
games.
video
Yeah,
games till 5 a.m. The Cashville Birdmen.
Yeah. That was dope.
And
That was dope.
The shooting game.
But the shooting game, I still don't remember to this day.
Did we have
I don't remember.
It had the blue.
You had a blue gun and a red,
Red gun.
And I had that big floor model TV.
Yeah.
And dude, like we just sat there shooting. I don't even remember what the fuck the name of that game was, but it was so dope. It was just
fun.
two dudes, and they went on missions or whatever with fucking guns. I don't even remember.
So that's how it went. And then the business dinner I'm talking about went to Cancun.
Yeah, and it was a lunch. It was a lunch because it was
Like
daytime.
a late lunch.
Yeah, but it was daytime.
Yeah.
It was smack daytime.
So we go in there, we have food, we eat, we have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Still learning all JD's little quirks and whatnot. I had no idea that this is what he's been doing for years.
Yeah.
So me and you are walking out of the parking lot. And from the door, we start walking down the middle of a parking lot, right? And then behind us, a truck is trying to get past.
Yes.
So I start veering to the right so to get out of the way. And you follow
I'm
just
walking very slowly.
right, because we're talking.
Yeah.
And you just ate, eating a mint.
Eating some mints. Yeah.
Right.
Cancun.
The car,
Dope mints.
as soon as we get clear, the car zooms. It's a truck. He
Yeah.
zooms past.
Yeah, and he's super mad that we're walking through where he's trying to get to.
He throws up the middle finger.
Yeah, and he peels like as soon as
No,
he gets
what he's
past
doing?
us.
He's like yelling through the window. That's what he's
Yeah,
doing.
but like as we walk past him, he's peeling. He's driving behind us, and he's mad that we're walking. I guess in the part where you drive.
Right, because he's in a hurry to go
parking
somewhere.
lot, wherever, whatever. So yeah, he peels out.
Right. You can hear him like yelling through the window.
Mm-hmm.
So you just simply throw your finger up.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Just a simple, hey, fuck you for doing whatever.
He's an asshole. Yeah.
ABS slams on the brakes.
Yeah.
The back of the truck
Yeah, the back end
lifts up.
Yeah, he's super mad. That
We
guy
stop.
wants to kill me.
This guy wants to get out.
He throws it in reverse.
Right.
And he peels back. And so I'm walking foolishly, let me add, walking towards the truck as he's driving back.
Right. And I follow.
Yes. And then he slams on his brakes. And he jumps out. And I was my phone is in a clip case.
This was a flip phone.
Yeah, but flip phone.
But
Yeah,
it had a leather case with a
Yes.
clear front.
Yes.
And then
yes.
it had a round peg and a
Yes,
back. And
yes,
then
the round peg, and it had little notches in it. So when you spun it, it clicked kind of,
Right.
you know. And I had a bad habit of like just playing with it and spinning it around,
Right.
you know, on my waist. And so, so he jumps out, and he's like, he wants to kill me, you know what I mean? Like he's so mad, and he jumps out and he runs up to me, and I mean he's in my face, you know.
Breathing.
Yeah.
Mad.
Super mad. And I was in the process, I was eating these mints. And look, all right, so look, if you know anything about Cancun, right?
Yeah.
It's great. It's for all of your listeners and viewers, right?
Okay.
Great food. Okay.
It's a Mexican restaurant.
It's a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah. Great food. And they give you these little mints. And they're the little soft mints, you know, that like kind of melt on your tongue. If you leave them in there long enough, them shits is dope, you know? And so I'm eating my mints. So he jumps out, and I have one in my hand, and I'm ready to eat it. So I'm not gonna stop eating it because this guy wants to kill me, right?
Right.
So I tear it open and I put it in my mouth, you know, because you got to get to the mint, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? And so I grab my phone and I spin it because it was my habit, you know.
And it clicks.
And it clicks, and I look at him. I say, "So what are we supposed to do now?" You know, because he's really close to me, you know. And so he looks down at me, and he looks back up in my face, and he looks over my shoulder and looks at Joe, and he looks back at me, and he says, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
It's me. I've had a bad day. And he sticks his hand out and he goes, "I apologize." And I put my mint wrapper in my left hand, you know, and I shake his hand, and he turns around and gets in the truck. And he drives off calmly this time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I turned around and Joe's looking at me like, "What?" And he said, "What the fuck just happened?" You know, what just happened? And I mean, I don't know. That was common though, you know. I don't get riled up a lot, you know what I mean? So it's
Only
pretty
when you
common.
drive.
Yeah, that's awful though.
When you
man.
drive, you have road
It's
rage.
awful. It's
road
awful of me
rage.
too. Like I really have been over the years. I've really been trying really hard to do better, you know, and be better.
Yeah.
In all facets of my life, you know. And road rage is just one of those things, man, that like I really need to get over. You know, I really need to do better at, and I'm trying, man. But I just get so fucking.
We were driving one time on Highway 100,
Mm-hmm.
and you tried to throw a full Sprite, McDonald's Sprite cup, one of the jumbo
Mm-hmm.
size. You tried to throw that out of my sunroof at the truck next to us.
See, this is interesting. 'Cause
You don't
I
remember that?
No.
Yeah, pull it next to
No.
him. And I said,
Really?
"No, I'm good." Like I got no
Wait,
problem.
did you have
with
the
it.
Cadillac?
It had the Cadillac, yeah, with the sunroof.
No, yeah.
So I'm driving, and
Mm-hmm.
the guy's like riding our ass in the car, and like then I move over, and he starts doing the like,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm just like, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
go on. And then you got so mad,
I can imagine.
you tried to throw. You were about to throw
You
your.
were telling me, no.
It was like a 40. Yeah, no, you're like, pull him next to him. And I was like, I'm good.
That's so
like, I'm
foolish.
good.
Yeah, that's, thank God, honestly, thank God I'm where I am now to this day, I thank God for that, man, because there was so much foolishness that I did and still remember and still think about to this day, It was just really foolish, And I have stories for days, and I don't even want to tell them because it's stupid,
Yeah.
And they're for me, they're fun, and I tell them to people that like this one, you were a part of these,
Right.
And so this is cool to tell, When I get around my other people and they're a part of those other ones, I like to tell those, and we laugh at them now. And I just thank God that I can laugh at them, that I'm free and breathing, and that I'm able to do that.
And nobody gets hurt.
And now.
And they go home.
Yeah, now. I mean, they're already home. It's over, right? But thank God that I just thank God for growth, man. I really do, because my path now and the way my perspective is now and the way I view everything through this lens now is just so much better life.
Yeah.
So grateful for it.
So I mean, is it bad? Was it bad you growing up, and are you a troublemaker?
No,
have you always been in trouble?
No, I don't even view myself as a troublemaker.
What about like were you angry?
No, I wasn't even really angry. I just knew that early on that like I grew up fighting a lot, and I just knew early on that I didn't need to take any shit from anybody. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
I had to take care of mine because I didn't see a whole lot of me getting taken care of. You know what I'm saying? In those fashions.
Right.
And so also growing up, just the amount of abuse and stuff that I witnessed that I don't even really want to talk about. But like stuff like that, man, like it affects you as a person, But I always had that really quiet, like humble nature about myself, like and that introvert kind of,
Right.
Even in my quote unquote heyday of the street, right? I had this big house in Bellevue, 6-bedroom, and all this land and a gate and all this stuff. And like I had, my people staying with me, and it was like me and 5 of my people, right?
Right.
But like, the hood just came and stayed with me because those were my people. It wasn't anything specific. I didn't like. I just gravitated towards who I gravitated towards, right? So they came and we all stayed together in this house, and it was a constant influx because of the nature of my business at the time. There was a constant just like influx of traffic,
Right.
and people and women, and everybody was playing spades and dominoes in the living room, and Nintendo 64 was popping then. This is the 90s, and everybody playing Mario Kart or 007 or that type of shit, right? And I was just in my room, writing. That's what I like to do, or cleaning my guns at the time, and I would always be writing, and because I wrote all the time. And so all of that like wild shit, not that I didn't kick it with people like sometimes and stuff, but for the most part, man, like I always just was wondering what the fuck was going on in the world.
Right.
Like I was always just thinking about some different shit, When you read my book, The Soul of a Poet, when you read a lot of that stuff in there, I mean, I know a lot of it's negative and down and depressing and shit like that, but that was just who I was at the time, so that's what I wrote about,
Right.
And when I put the book out, I was in a much better place in life, but I had to catch everybody up. If I want people to know who I am and know my spirit, then I had to catch everybody up, right?
Oh,
so
okay,
all
yeah,
of these
yeah.
writings had to be put in a book, and so now the next book, my next poetry book that I'm working on, called Sand from the Hourglass, representing like the days of my life, right? It's more current, so you'll read more positive stuff and more. Not that there wasn't any of it, but I mean it's pretty brutal, It's pretty brutal if you read the book. I've had several people tell me that when they purchased the book and when they got it, that they emailed me or messaged me or whatever it
Right.
was, and they said that I started reading your book and like I had to put it down. I can't read that. Like it's like I'm such an empath or whatever the case is. I gotta watch what I take in, and reading your book is like fucking like contaminating me, I guess, because it's so raw, it's so real. But I learned that path though too, Joe, and you know this. So like I learned that path really quickly with the music. I started doing music, and I thought I was supposed to get a deal. I thought that was the natural progression of things.
That's what, always seen.
That's what we thought was the process. So I start doing it, and then I start sending demos out. And like, I've always been about this branding thing and this packaging thing and putting things together. Mm-hmm. So I had fucking aluminum shiny envelopes and like something that would stand out in the pack. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I was sending out demo after demo, and I was getting rejection letter after rejection letter, and from Violator, from Universal South, from everybody at the time, Def Jam. Everybody was like, "Yo, we can't." I mean, there were nice letters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they were
like business.
Yeah, it was appeasement letters.
It's not like you get comments on Instagram now.
Right.
They were just like business letters.
Yeah, it was just business letters saying we can't find placement for your project. So that's that on that, right? And so this shit hurt my feelings. This shit pissed me off. This shit was like, yo, this is politics. You know what I'm saying? There was all type of stuff. I even spoke one of the cats' names in the rejection letters in a rap, in a diss record. Like, I spoke him like I got the green light on Mike O,
Oh,
like, yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, so like I was mad, but then that was the best thing that ever happened to me. And then in 2005, when I started I was working with an independent A&R rep in Atlanta, and when I started getting offers and there were deals on the table in 2005, I was rejecting the deals.
Oh, wow. Because you're in a different space.
Because I was in a different space. And one of the biggest spaces that I was different in was mentally. I was mentally in a different space. I had a different viewpoint on what the game was and what I wanted to do and what I wanted my future to even be like. You know what I'm saying? So then I was rejecting the letters because I had started Untouchable Records, and it started to do its thing, and I started to understand staying independent and the importance of that. And so fast forward again to when I put the book out, I remember distinctly taking my book, and it was in a 3-ring binder. Like, I didn't know anything about it, right? And it was printed off a Word, and like the fonts were different sizes. Like, I got that it looked like shit. It wasn't a book. I didn't know what I was doing, I mean, I knew Photoshop, I knew Illustrator, I knew all that stuff, but I didn't know how to do it, right?
Right.
So I was taking it to Thomas Nelson and Simon & Schuster and shit like that, and I was trying to get sit-downs, trying to get them to publish my book, and I kept hearing that it was too long. It's 162 pages, right? So nobody puts out a 162-page poetry book. That's stupid,
Yeah.
Maya Angelou put out a book and it had one poem in it. Like, oh, I'm not her. You know what I mean? What the fuck, man? Like, this is just what I'm doing there. Your shit was too dark. It's not, it's not good or whatever. Yeah. And I remember, Joe, man, really vividly, and I've told this story before, I remember bringing that 3-ring binder back in here, walking in the studio and throwing it in the floor. Like, I remember throwing it on the floor, man, fuck this shit. Like, it was all too familiar to me. You know what I mean?
Like it happened
I
again.
remember, my eyes are even welling up a little bit right now because I remember how disappointing that was to me, To
get that rejection.
Absolutely, because it was music all over again, dog. It was music all over again.
And you're just trying to do your thing.
Just trying to fucking...
And they're boxing you in with their
of course.
thing.
So then Angel knew some people. My girl Angel, she hit me up with these people, get in touch with the people, and do. And so print on demand is now a thing. I didn't know anything about it. So I got in touch with some people and I started self-publishing my shit, right? And so once again, it was me funding my own thing. It was me putting up everything for myself in my mission, in my vision.
But doing it the way you want it.
Doing it the way I want to do it, no restrictions. And so I was like, okay, cool, And then... and now here we are in the present with me doing art and these drawings and portraits and this gallery stuff. And then it's like, again, trying to throw an exhibit, trying to, right now, currently, trying to throw a show, an art show or something like that. You take your art to these art galleries, and there's so much politics involved.
Like you did, right?
Yeah, it's so much
just
politics
like you
involved.
Just did.
And so it's like, okay, I remember this now. I'm better prepared. I don't have to throw anything on the floor and cry about it, right?
Right.
I just know I need to start my own gallery. You know what I mean? Like, I need to do my own thing. So it's like you have to take your own shit into your own hands, and you have to be willing to go broke doing it. You have to bet on yourself and invest in yourself. And if you're not doing it, like I think Chris Rock even said, Chris Rock was credited with a phrase of where his car broke down or something, and everybody kept passing him. But the second he started pushing his car, people started stopping to help him push it. So the theory was that if you're helping yourself, people don't mind helping you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that was, that's just like, as I look back on my whole life, I've been very, very fortunate. I say I'm a fortunate less fortunate, you know? As I look back on my life, I know that I've been very, very, very blessed and fortunate to have people like such as yourself and such as pools of people that I can pull from. And one of my phrases now that I say all the time is your network is your net worth, right?
Right.
So like I could be flat broke. I could have nothing in the bank, you know what I'm saying? Which is not too far from being the truth, right? So but I could have nothing, but I have people, right? I have people, and those people know that my name is butter. So it's not just street shit. They know that I'm worth it. They know that I'm good for it. So I can pull people, and I can do things, and I can make moves with no money because I've established relationships.
Right.
So throughout the years, you know what I mean?
Long time, man,
long time. So anyway.
So what about a timeline of the things you've done? Can we start like 98 with your first album?
98. Yeah, I started recording it in 96 and 97.
I mean, if you want to jump to the, like, if you want to keep it music, books, art, blah, 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 you know what I mean? So you don't have to go all, how many albums?
I'm working on my 14th album right now. I'm working on I'm working on my second poetry book. I published and wrote and illustrated and published a children's book series. I put out an art catalog just recently. And the art catalog was really just the first collection of my drawings. But yeah, so I put out 14 albums and published 3 books. 13 albums, working on my 14th album, published 3 books so far, and countless portraits and drawings and paintings at this point.
Which you're hanging in the art gallery.
Yeah, which we're doing the first art exhibit on the 18th. So I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about showcasing all of that stuff. There is going to be custom furniture in there too. I know it seems like I just do a little of everything.
How do you do custom furniture? You want to take a step back now?
Oh, man.
Like, he builds in his garage?
I'm sure it's very confusing because a lot of people do one thing, and a lot of people want you to be one-dimensional. A lot of people want you to be one-dimensional so badly because they are. And they're scared to do different things, and they're scared to be known for other things. Like, you know, whenever you look at somebody like LeBron James, you know, you want to look at LeBron James as a basketball player. Right. And that's it. And that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case. I mean, the cat does a lot of stuff, and I mean, he's actually a big influence of mine because of his I Promise school that he started, and that's actually where I see a lot of my future is in the kids, man, because as adults, we get corrupted by responsibility.
Right.
So everything we monetize, we tend to monetize everything. We tend to put numbers on shit. Like, you're going to pick me up at the airport at 4 o'clock. You know, like, ooh, you got $20 for gas or whatever, $10 or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. We try to monetize everything because we're so focused on bills and adult shit, you know? And the kids, man, like, they just want to do things because they love to do things. You know, little Johnny wants to fucking play the saxophone because he wants to, you know, because it makes him feel good. He thinks it's great. He don't think I could do this as a career. It's not even what it is. This is just super cool, you know?
Right.
So if you really want to impact and affect change, then you got to reach down towards the kids. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been working on this school idea even before I knew LeBron James had a school. Many, many years ago, I started putting all my ideas together because I'm like a crazy person. I have all these manila folders with all these ideas and apps and products that I want to patent and all this shit, right? And so, but I have the name for the school, and I want to do that. And it's going to be like a boys and girls club for the arts. And, you know, it's just something I'm really passionate about. And I see myself there long term. Of course, there's a lot of stepping stones and paths you have to take to get to there, you know.
Right.
But that's what all this other stuff is for, you know. And when I got offered a show, I actually got offered a show probably about 4 or 5 years ago with A&E, and they wanted to do this show on me called The Renaissance Man, and
I can see that.
And I turned it down, and I was turning it down, like as they were telling me about it, and I didn't even realize I was turning it down, right? Subconsciously, I guess,
Wow.
right? Because the guy was like, "Yeah, why you been? You know, you've been shaking your head like this the whole time. You know, I've been talking." I was like, "No, I didn't. You know."
You didn't even realize.
And no, and so it was because I can tell you why though. It's because I don't want to do this shit. You know.
Was it because it was going to come on after the big smo? Promptly
No.
after Big Smo?
No,
Shout out to Smoke.
No, and I don't. Yeah, and I don't. You know that guy. I don't know that guy. I don't know any of these people really. But no, I didn't want to do it because I don't want that for my life. You
Right.
know, I don't want to be following around with a camera. I live a very quiet life. Very peaceful life, and I didn't want that for
At that point.
at that point. I don't want
But had someone came to you in 2001 as a TV show, you would have said,
probably at 2001, yeah, I probably would have took it.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I was turning down record deals in 2005,
Right.
and so I think it really took me until 2005 to start processing and putting together what I actually wanted to do with my life and my art. You
And
know?
that's a long process.
A long
I've been
process.
through the majority of it.
Absolutely. And you know what's crazy, man, is like I tell my son, you know, I tell him all the time that, like, you know, just start doing things. Whatever it is you're passionate about, start doing it.
Right.
You know, when I rode skateboards, I rode skateboards every day. When I played drums, I played drums every day. When I was writing music, I was writing music every day. Some of those things stuck, and some of them fell by the wayside, you know?
But they were still there.
But I had to go through them to understand what it was that was going to be for me in the end, what was going to be a part of my life and what wasn't. But if I don't know, if I don't go through them, then I don't know. You know what I mean? So like, you know, that's that, man. Like, but yeah, I didn't want to do that, man. I didn't want to do that, and I still don't want to do that. I don't want that part from my life. I don't like all the hoopla and things, you know.
That is true.
I just, yeah,
That's
I don't
true,
like
that's
it.
true.
Yeah, I know you've been trying to get me to do this and that and this and that for years, and
It sounds easy just telling you, but I'm guessing. I guess you attempt it, and then you realize like, this is just too much.
no,
fake.
and you know what? Like some of the yeah, maybe in the beginning, but like now I can pretty much. It's like this. If the streets taught me anything, they taught me a good judge of character.
Right.
And so one character that I really had to learn to judge and understand was my own. Who am I and what do I want? Who am I going to be? Like what is in my you know, spectrum, my moral spectrum, right? So I have this moral compass, and we all should, right? So what fits and what doesn't? Like I'm not a liar, so I'm not going to tell no lies, you know. So when you listen to my music, you don't hear these over embellished, crazy, outlandish stories.
Right.
You just don't. I just tell the truth. I just tell the truth, and then you listen to it, you gravitate towards it, you feel that struggle, or you don't.
Yeah.
And you don't have to listen, and that's fine.
The gift and the curse is you can't not tell the truth.
Exactly. But yeah, and I don't know that that's it. I don't see the curse part of it. You know, I'm very happy about all of this stuff, you know, but I had to go through a whole gang of trek through the mud and get through over there, you know. And so now I can pretty much tell you when you say, hey, Jay Dee, I want to do this podcast. I'm like, yeah, man, that'll be dope because we can just speak candidly and we can just be ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But like, you know, hey, well, what about why don't we do this? And I'm like, shit, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I already know by judging my own fucking character, what I'm willing to do and what I'm not. You
Right.
know? But I'm very ritualistic, man. Very, like, even in food and all of that stuff. Like, people try to give me try new things all the time and do new things and all this stuff. And most of the time, it's just I already know who I am, you know. So
Right.
It's been a long.
And you rarely
road.
bend for anybody.
Rarely. And I'm happy with that, you know, because once I start bending, it's just like it's like almost instant regret, you know.
Right.
Like it's like I knew I didn't want to do this. It's rare. It rarely ever pans out how people think it's going to pan out. They think they're going to, introduce me to this new thing, and I'm gonna think it's like super dope or whatever.
Right.
Just rarely ever happens like that.
But you got to admit, sometimes I'll bring you something new, and you'll be like, "Yeah, I guess it's not that bad."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I guess that's the rarity. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's definitely the rarity. But yeah, man, it's just I have so many things. I live with this like crazy sense of urgency, and I feel and have all these things inside myself that I have to get out. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's why I constantly do things and create things, and that's why a lot of people might not understand. A very driven person. There's a very driven person. I posted a while back. A very driven person, you know, looks like a crazy person to undriven people.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's
and
true.
so, I mean, why does he want to build furniture? Why does he want to write books? Oh, he's an author.
Well, you
now,
had to
or
build
whatever,
furniture to an extent. It was A, your job.
Yeah.
B, your forced career.
But I took it because I had that background. I had that background from Animax where I was building things and creating.
I forgot about Animax.
Yeah, where
Animax was
I was helping create animatronic robots for theme parks and feature film, and then so I was there for a while, and the owner and I had a disagreement, and that's a funny story also. But and then I started. Then I started building custom playgrounds for YMCAs and children's hospitals all over the nation.
Oh, I forgot. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, so because I've done a lot of things in my life.
Yeah.
All creative. They were all creative, like forms. I never really had, like, I never worked in food. Like, I never did those kind of jobs, really.
You really don't like food.
I love food.
You love food, but you only
specific-
like a certain amount of, like, I love pork chops.
Yeah. I love steak.
I just order pork chops.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. I'm I find things I like and stick with it. You know?
Yeah.
But so I had that background, and then I was working at Soundcheck, and so I was working at Soundcheck first a long time ago, and Bob Thompson, shout out to Bob Thompson, he owned Soundcheck back then. Really good dude, man. He's a good man, you know. Taught me a lot, and so in Soundcheck, they needed lockers, right, for all of the people to store their gear.
Oh,
so
like
they
the
had
music lockers.
Yeah, so studio musicians. So studio musicians needed places to store their instruments and things, right? And so then we had cartage trucks. So what we would do is, let's say like John Hobbs, like a studio musician in Nashville, who would say, okay, I got a session at Ocean Way or whatever, you know, at 3 p.m., right? So we would go to his locker and take his, you know, Hammond organ or whatever out, right? And we would load it up with all the cables and all the things, and we would put it in the truck, and we would drive it to Ocean Way, and we would set it up and set it, and boom, and we would leave. And then he would show up, and he would play, and then he would leave, and then we would come back and load everything up and take it and put it back in his locker, right?
Right.
So, but those lockers didn't exist. We had
That's
to build the lockers.
right.
So that's where I learned a lot of woodworking and framing and hanging doors and all of that stuff. And so,
And you built the studio we're in before that.
Yes.
When you bought this house. I remember.
Absolutely, yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
you building this.
This was the first thing, and when I bought this house, which will be crazy enough, I bought this house in my 20s, you know, and so I bought this house. This September will be 16 years ago.
Wow.
Crazy, man. And so yeah, whenever I bought this house, I was like, yo, I'm gonna build a studio. That's the first thing I'm gonna do.
A real
I didn't even have like all of furniture and shit for the rest of the house, right? I'm gonna build this studio. So I had it sketched out. And so all of these things were already happening before I even started building furniture.
Right.
You know?
So I remember you bringing in wood and making the riser, and then we went and picked up the bank teller bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
Which
That
is
has
about 500 pounds.
Yes, and it
we
has
had
a couple of holes in it.
Right.
Actually, yeah, from the bank teller. I did not do that.
Where did we
But,
pick that up at?
This
It was
cat-
like a salvage.
No, it was a cat I knew. It was a cat I knew that worked at Animax at the time, and because I bought this house when I was there, and it was '04. I was working at Animax, and there was a cat named James Strain, and we called him Strange, and cool dude, and he was a carpenter, and he had it out behind his house, the old bank teller window.
Was that his house?
That was his house
In Nashville?
That was his house, yeah, right
Looked
off
like
of
a,
Charlotte.
Looked like a junkyard.
It was.
It was scary. It was scary. You go pick up this glass.
It was. James, you're my dude, though. If you're listening, you know it's cool.
No,
But good dude. He was a good dude. But yeah,
Yeah.
he gave it to me. I think. I mean, I gave him some money. I think voluntarily, but he didn't.
yeah, but
want
you
to
said,
do
"Hey,
it.
let's go pick up this glass,"
Yeah.
and I said, "Cool." And he said, "Oh, bank teller glass." I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, it's fine."
Yeah, huge.
That thing was literally 500 pounds,
Yeah, and
it's
so-
sitting right behind me.
Yes.
in
Had
the
to
wall.
build the frame too. Like that opening was already there. And thank God the glass, because I wouldn't have had no way to cut it, right? So thank God the glass fit in there. I just had to bulk up the frame, you know, and put it in there. So yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, I've been building shit my whole life,
Right.
man. Even when I was young, you know, when I was really young, I was always trying to build things and create things, and so it was always my nature to do that stuff. And thank God that I had the mother that I had that told me to just do the things. Just do the things that you love, you know what I mean? Like she didn't try to make me be someone
Sure.
to achieve some sort of financial situation, right? That was the ticket, you know. So everything that I do and fully and wholeheartedly embracing everything that I do artistically,
Yeah.
you know, I credit to her for sure.
And
And God.
what's the name of your company?
So the
Since we can move
Yeah.
on to that, since we're there.
now we're kind of here, yeah. So it's called the Ginger Seed Gallery, and my mother's name was Ginger Moore, and I am her seed, and so it's my homage, you know. And how it happened was I was running my own shop at this place, and but I was still a salaried employee, and so
very well paid.
yeah, it was pretty well paid.
Shouldn't mention
and,
that.
but no doubt. And they were going more corporate, and so you know, once you start dealing with you know, corporations and investors and stuff like that, things start to become less family and more structured in a different way.
It
as far as
happens.
business.
It happens,
yeah.
though.
And so I was a line item, you know, and a line item, anybody in those businesses, line item. So I'm a line item. I have my name and I have a number next to me. And so that number is like, why is this number so big? And how do we, you know, the number in business that the one of the only numbers in business that a person can control is payroll.
Right.
So they're going to regulate payroll. And so can we do without this dude, you know? And I had built a shop and generated a revenue stream for this company that they weren't doing before I came. And so I came and I designed all these pieces and I hired my guys and I created a shop. There was no shop. I created the shop and I hired my guys and I just wanted to work with my people, man. I just wanted to work with my people and build a thing. And I saw myself retiring there. I saw...
And this was last year.
Yes, this was last year. It was
year.
2019. Yes.
Yeah, 2019.
And so, so yeah, man. And then on my 5th year anniversary, we were actually getting wood for the shop, and I was in the back of a box truck, and it was backed up. It was the end of a day on a Friday, and yeah, end of a day on a Friday. Worked all day, and came back from Lowe's, had a big load, and we were unloading the lumber, and the director of operations came and said, "Hey, Jay Dee, can I let you?" We go upstairs, and and then yeah, they let me go. So and you know, and at first, like, yeah, you know, it was really tough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I remember you called me.
yeah, I mean, it was not even. I mean, it not even at first, because that whole situation meant so much to me. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I was carrying my weight. I knew I was earning my numbers. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I brought to the table. You know, but and it wasn't like, man, like I don't harbor anything against these people, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew it was something that even the looks in their faces as it was happening was not something that they wanted to do. It was just what it was, you know. And it's all love, man, you know. And everything is as it's supposed to be if you trust that process. Now, in that moment, now keep in mind, so I lost my mother. I lost my mother on Christmas Day in 2017, and this is 2019 that this happened. And so this is really I've been stable since I lost my mom. I lost her Christmas Day, so 2017 wasn't really, you know, and then all of 2018,
right.
And then here we are at the beginning of 2019 when this happens, right? So it's been a year and a half, maybe tops. You know what I mean? A little over a year actually, you know. But the whole time after I lost my mother, we were so close, you know, her and I, and so, man, like, it's just crazy because, like, I hadn't really had a blow, right? If I'm financially stable and I'm living stable and I'm healthy and I don't really have anything going on in my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, moving forward with everything as you do.
You know, so I'm okay, right?
Sure.
But then when that happens, I'll never forget it, man. When that happens, it was like almost surreal, you know? And so they let me go. I get in the car, and it was a Friday, and it was my weekend to get my son, but he had a band concert, so I wasn't going to get him till Saturday.
Right.
So I come home, and I live by myself. I live alone. And so I come home Friday night, and I want to call my mom so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck, man, you know? So of course I cry, and I lose my shit, and like I have a nervous breakdown, you know what I mean? And then I wake up Saturday morning, and I'm just like, dude, Jay Dee, get your motherfucking ass up. Like, get yourself together, dog. Like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? And I had a meeting with the CEO that Monday and of the company. I just wanted to speak my piece. Legally, I had no, intellectual property leg to stand on, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares, you know what I mean?
But
like, I just want to, emotionally, I want to speak my piece on a moral, ethical soapbox, right?
And tell me that shit to my
face.
Yeah. Tell
me
I gotta go to my
for
face.
sure. And how this is even gonna work, because they kept the shop open, they kept my guys, they kept all the shit that I designed and built, of course.
They
you know what
just
I'm saying?
dropped
just me.
You.
Just get rid of me.
So tell me what's
you know
up.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have our conversation. It's all love. It is what it is. I spoke my piece, and I'm like, Jay Dee, get your fucking self together. You know what I'm saying? What now? You know what now? Okay, all right. So if I do my own thing, and I would love to say that I step down on like grandiose courage and faith and all this shit. But that's not true. I was kicked off the ledge, and I was propelled, but I didn't realize then it was propelling me into my destiny. Right?
Again, but you were kicked off, put down.
Of course.
Again.
Of course. Story of my life.
Yeah. Okay.
Story of my life. You know, and but it's never about that. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to address all of the times they've been kicked down, and it's never about that. It's always about the get back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always about the get back. It's never about the shit that happens to you in life. It's always about how you handle the shit that happens to you in life.
Right.
That's it.
In
right?
hindsight.
So, yeah, when you're standing in the shit, it stinks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, get out of it. Take your shoes off. Take a shower. You don't stink no more, right?
Yeah.
Get out of it. But while you're there, yeah, you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, but it makes for a better story if I ask you later. Not when you say, yo, man, they just fired me. And I go, hey, let's sit down on the mic and talk about it.
Yeah. No, it's a process anyway. It's a process. Yeah. So anyway, real shit, I started seeing... When I lost my mom, I started seeing her birthday's October 27th. I started seeing 1027 everywhere I looked. I was getting, invoices and shit. And they would be like, 1027 is the invoice number. Every time I look at the clock, And you could be dismissive. People are dismissive. They look to be dismissive. It's cool. I tend to embrace this shit, right?
Except for when you play the lotto.
Yeah. So
when you did the lotto.
Yeah. But real shit. So I look and but do I go to lunch at about 10:30, 11, right? Early shit. So is it 10:27 when I start to get hungry? Sure. Do I go to bed at about 10:30 at night, right?
Right.
So at about 10:30, I'm tired of shit. So I look at it as 10:27. Sure. You could dismiss it 10 ways on Sunday if you want to.
Of course.
That's cool. It's all love, But But yeah, man, so I started seeing all this stuff, and then I was like, okay, cool. What if I start my own thing? Now I had this shit failing for years, like I was doing my own thing. I had the numbers didn't make sense to me. I was like, how many tables am I gonna have to build and sell to pay my bills and my mortgage and shit, right? So I had it failing already, but now I'm under the gun. I gotta do something. Get up, let's do something. And so
Yeah, you have a limited time to do all this.
right, I gotta get to work,
Right.
you know? And so anyway, man, like I was like, I don't want to call it I am Jay Dee. I want to be all things Jay Dee. I want you to go into this space and I want you to see the furniture that I've built. And on top of that furniture is books I've published. On the walls are prints of pictures I've drawn, and there's paintings on the walls, and there's all this thing. You hear the music playing in the background. It's Jay Dee, and so like boom. So it's just all thing. It's an experience. It's this I am Jay Dee experience. Right, and so, but I didn't want to call it that. It's not universal.
You already had that.
Yeah.
Also.
It's and it's not like a brick and mortar spot, right? This is not like what I am Jay Dee. Why I go in there? It's all about this dude, you know?
Yeah.
And that's lame. So, so I started thinking like, what do I do? So how do I do this? And so I wanted to pay, respect to my mother. That was the origin of the whole thing. And so when I started, thinking about the name, and it hit me, ginger seed, right? And so I Googled it. Like, what the fuck does ginger even come from a seed? I ain't no botanist, motherfucker. Right. I don't know what the hell's going on, So I Googled it, and this fucking thing comes up, and it was like so raw. I mean, I just started bawling, and it gives this description of a ginger seed. And so evidently the seed is this subterranean piece that grows under the ground, and then sometimes called the mother, right, in parentheses, and it's harvested from like September to November, which is October 27th, and they're smack in the middle, right? and you harvest it before it develops a thick skin, which my mother was a resilient person,
for sure.
And so I was like, damn, man, like, it was just like, and then I started to, okay, I'm gonna buy my domain name. So I called Jim, and I'm like, yo, we're gonna do this, and I want to do this, and I need this logo, and what is it gonna take? And so he starts putting everything together, and it's just like, it's just all a blessing. And so and he's like, yeah, man, buy 3 domain names. We'll point them all to the same point. So I buy them all, and it's like, they're like $9 a piece, and so I buy them and no tax, and they're like $27 or something. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this, know. And then with every move that I made, literally with every move I made, I knew it was exactly what I was supposed to be doing. And so after we got the website up and running, I had a bunch of cars in my driveway because I flip cars and I like cars, and so I sold a BMW, and I bought this box truck, and so it's just, it all spiraled into this big thing, and it just kept working at every turn,
right?
And not that there weren't challenges; it's all challenging,
yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, it's been nothing short of super interesting.
No, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, it really is, and I'm grateful for the whole process. But if I wasn't, if I didn't have myself together mentally, if I wasn't prepared spiritually, I would not have been able to recognize all of these things for what they are and embrace them.
Yeah, and where does that come from? Your amazing ability to become.
I mean, trial and error, maybe.
Yeah.
A whole lot of error. But no, when I was young, there's a story about my grandmother that I've told a bunch. So my grandmother, I attributed her to, saving my life, at a very crucial time. And anyway... So when I was young, I had a mother and a father, and I believed my father was my father. I didn't know any different.
Right.
Why would I? And as I got older, he and I had massive differences, and I felt something was off in the way he treated me, and and things of that nature. But anyway, later on in life, I find out that he's not my biological father.
Okay.
And I didn't know that growing up. And I didn't find that out until much later in life. And but anyway, my father was, I believe he was a good man inside. He had a good heart. He really did, and he meant well. But he was a massively abusive alcoholic and drug abuser, and so he at a very young age, I witnessed him beat my mother brutally, and to the point where he would only stop when he would pass out, and she would be almost near death, and there would be blood all over the linoleum floor, and my brother, who's 3 years older than me, I'm not very close to, but I haven't talked to him in years, but I would ask him, like, are they dead? Are they dead? And that's a lot of what my childhood was. And but anyway, so my mother ended up leaving, and she left and she moved to Nashville. We lived in a small town.
And she took you?
Tennessee.
No. She just went by herself.
She left. She just got the hell up out of there, and she left us there with him.
Oh.
And because she couldn't support us, and so she left, and she moved to Nashville, and so he ended up taking us to all these bars, and that's just what he did. You know?
just became a part of his.
Yeah, just
lunch,
whatever was
his
going
luggage,
on. Yeah,
his luggage, like,
whatever was going
come
on.
on.
Dude, there was crazy stories about us riding four-wheelers in blizzards, with no jacket, and like go, because he was going to get dope, and there was no cars. You couldn't get a car on the road, so you'd take a four-wheeler.
With
His
two
friend's
kids.
four-wheeler with kids. You know what I mean? And he was a very large man in stature, like very large. He was like 6'4", 450, very big dude. And but yeah, just crazy stories, And so there was this place that he liked to visit called the Brass Lantern. And he would take us there all the time. And he knew everybody in this town, right? So he could get away with anything. I mean, when he was abusing my mother, like, nobody did anything. She reported it. Nobody did anything. Nobody would do anything. And that's why she moved.
Right.
And so so my father would take us to these bars and get drunk and hang out and inevitably pass out. And nobody would tell him to leave. Nobody would move
They just
the giant.
wait for him to wake up.
Yeah,
Like
just
he's on
let
the
him-
second one.
Just let him
We'll
stay
get
there.
him when he wakes up.
Yeah, let him stay there.
Right.
So my brother and I will push tables together and sleep on the tables, because you're not sleeping on the floor of a bar. That's fucking nasty, right? So we'll wipe these tables off, push two tables together, and get on them and go to sleep. And that was how we lived our lives. And my grandmother, which was his mother, found out about it and was livid, And so she calls him, and it's this big thing ensues, and we end up going and living with my grandmother. And my grandmother lived in this little bitty white house, and with what seemed like a huge porch. And I've visited since.
Have you?
What's
it look like? Is it tiny?
Yes,
Yeah.
all of it is super tiny.
But like back then, it was
Back
like
then it was like it was like
giant-
wow, it's
yeah.
cool. And she had a yard, and there was a clothesline out there that we used to jump and swing on. We'd take a milk crate, stand on the milk crate, and jump and swing on this clothesline. The T-pole, not the line.
No,
but
the
the
one
pole.
that- yeah.
The pole, right? So we'd swing on this pole, and man, look, dog, like, well, I mean, we were broke as a joke. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
right.
we didn't have fucking toys. We didn't have clothes.
You had each other.
We had, dude, like real shit. Like, we didn't have electricity at the time. Like, there was nothing. We played with bugs. We real deal play with bugs. We got a frisbee. We got a frisbee one time from our neighbor, and we thought that was just the fucking best shit smoking, right? But like, we went out at night and went around and smacked all the lightning bugs with the frisbee, and we smacked so many that the frisbee would glow, and we'd throw it and be able to see it at night.
That's dope.
Crazy, And so I remember one time we got from a neighbor 2 doors down, we got a refrigerator box. They got a new refrigerator, so they gave us the box. We cut all these little openings with a kitchen knife and like had flaps and shit, and we were battling these wasps, and we'd dig a hole in the ground and put a red ant and a black ant, and let them fight each other, and like real shit. That was our lives, And but I remember one time, man, that like I woke up in the middle of the night. We all slept in the same bed in this room, me and my grandmother and my brother. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and and uh, and right outside of the bedroom was a hallway, and the bathroom was right there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the good times, one of the better times where we had electricity, and so we got up in the middle of the night, and I heard her talking. We called her Ninny, you know. Her name was Oline.
Okay.
And we called her Ninny, and we got up in the middle of the night, and she was in the bathroom. She was talking to someone, and so we're like, damn, man, like, who's here in the middle of the night? We thought maybe Dad came. You know, he would come and drunk and piss on himself and fall asleep on the couch. Like, it was just bad, you know.
Yeah.
It was real bad. So anyway, but she was talking to somebody in the bathroom. And real deal, Joe, like, so we creep up to the edge of the door because it was really, like, right there. The bathroom door was right next to the bedroom door. And so we had the door cracked, and she had the door cracked, and she was in the bathroom with the light on. And she was talking, and we were listening, trying to make out the words. And I wanted to know who she was talking to really bad, you know. And I just wanted to know if it was another issue or what was happening now, you know.
What is it tonight?
And, but yeah, man, she was asking this man to help us,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to save us. You know what I mean? And you know, to make sure we had enough food, right? And she, of course, kept calling him God. And so I remember, you know, she got finished, she was praying, is what she was doing. And I remember, you know, she was done and she started to come back, so we ran and got back in the bed real quick, you know. But I remember the next day I went out on that porch, man. I went out on that porch and I was just looking out at the neighborhood, you know. And I was looking out at the neighborhood and looking up at the sky and all that stuff. And I was just thinking, man, there's a dude out there. There's supposed to be some dude out there that can do something for us, you know, that can improve our life,
Right.
you know. And so, like, you know, and I wanted our lives to be better. And so I was very curious about who God was at a very early age. And keep in mind, I don't really remember ages too much. It was all of that stuff was very stuck together. I just remember I was probably in first grade.
Right.
However old you are then, you know, second grade maybe, I don't know. But in third grade, I at the end of third grade, I moved to Nashville with Mom, and so that's how I got here.
Wow.
But I've been in Tennessee. You know, I mean, I was born in Tennessee. But I've moved out since then. I lived in New Jersey. I lived in Colorado. I lived in Indiana. I lived in Alabama. I lived in quite a few places, but I always came back here. It's home. So, but yeah, man. So that's I guess as far back as I can remember, I can attribute that to a spirituality,
To that day.
and to that moment. Yeah,
Oh, to
I
that
remember
to that time. My fault.
that,
to that
yeah,
time.
to that era,
To
yeah,
time,
that
yeah.
specific time. Yeah, because, but I remember even getting older and trying to understand everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to understand shit, man. I wanted to figure out how things were working and what was
Right.
doing, how this thing is built, what's really going on, why are these people doing this, you know? It was just asking 1,000,001 questions.
Right.
And I failed school miserably because I
Sure.
didn't do it, you know? But
But also, I mean, I don't know if you and your brother needed toys since he shot you in the leg.
that was
With a crossbow.
Yeah,
Was it a crossbow?
Yeah, it was a crossbow. But no, honestly, that was when we had toys. There was a
That was before or after?
no, that was when we had toys. We actually got to a point when Mom moved up here to Nashville. She met a guy, and the guy was very nice. He was a
Right.
nice dude, and that's why we were able to come up here, because he was a super cool dude. His name was Mike, and he was they worked at UPS together, and it was a good time. That was probably, when I look back on everything, that was probably the most normal period of my life ever. was that time. We had this place. It was a duplex. And,
Where you could just be a kid.
I was just a kid.
No worrying.
Yeah, no, he bought us. We were really into ninja shit.
Yeah.
And he bought us ninja weapons, and we had some kind of video game console at the time, you know. And like we actually had things, and it was fucking pretty cool, you know what I mean? Like,
and it became.
It was pretty cool to have clothes and like shit, like toys, and it was a pretty dope time.
That's dope.
But yeah, so we were out back. My mother worked a lot, and we were out black playing ninja shit, you know.
Is this the still cross?
Yeah, and you know, it's very convoluted, honestly. It's a very convoluted story.
Yeah.
And because depending on who you ask, this is what's very interesting about it. This is very interesting about this story. Very interesting is that we had a good friend named Jason Jeanette. I'm still cool with him to this day. Great dude. Huge heart. Beautiful dude, right? Mm-hmm. And he was with us.
Oh, there was more people there that day?
It was me and my brother and him. Okay? And real shit, we were playing out behind the duplex.
I love the story.
And it's interesting for sure. So we were playing out behind the duplex, and Jason had a crossbow, and there was a compound bow. Also, we had a compound bow, a 60-pound compound bow. I was the summer before my 4th grade year. I was in Nashville. You know what I mean? Like, that was the deal, right? I don't know how old you are then, but I was fresh in Nashville. We were in the city, and this is what's popping. You know, we were in the ninja shit. We were getting toys and swords and stars, and we were doing all that. You know what I mean? And so we were behind the house, and there was like a culvert, you know, which is that shit, the drainage stuff, right? We had a box, and it was like stuffed with blankets or whatever the fuck was in it. I don't even remember, cardboard box.
Whatever you could put in it.
Yeah, whatever's in it. We had a target on it, and we were shooting that shit. So there was a compound bow, there was a crossbow, and there was a slingshot. And it was one of those slingshots that you pull back, and it has the rest on your forearm. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, so you can get the leverage. Yeah,
yeah, so you can get the leverage. It don't pull back on you.
What do you call it?
Arm rest the arm thing, right? You know? So there was one of those, and we were shooting arrows out of this crossbow. Out of this slingshot. We were shooting arrows. Thank God they all had practice tips and not hunting tips, you know, that would get stuck.
The straight metal
practice
instead
tips,
of the razor.
It looked like a bullet slug, you know what I mean?
It wasn't through razors.
No, it was just it looked like a bullet slug, you know. And so we were shooting all of these things with these various weapons into this box.
Right.
Mom was at work, you know. And so we're out there doing this shit, and I say, yo, I gotta use the bathroom, let me go piss. Stop shooting things, right? So you had to run down the hill, past the box, to go in the door to the house. And so I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, time out, motherfuckers. I gotta go use the restroom. You know what I'm saying? So I go down the hill, and I'm cutting across. I hear, whistling, okay? I'm wearing gray sweatpants. I turn and I look, and I see this arrow, dog. Like, and it's happened so fast. And I see it, and it hits the top of the box, and goes straight in my right thigh. Like, pow, you know what I mean? My whole body jars. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And I look down, I got this arrow stuck in my fucking right thigh, right?
Right.
And so, instantly, from the arrow down, the gray sweatpants turn red. I mean, just saturated, you know. So I grab it, and I'm like, yo, motherfucker, you know, and I pull it out. Pah, you know, throw it down. And I run inside. And so Jason runs home. You know,
he got scared.
He's
just going for help, or he's scared?
No, he's just out. Oh. You know, I'm just going home. He lived across the street, so he's out. He runs home. of course, my brother runs down the hill. We run inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, I got to call mom. I got to call mom. He's like, no, we're not calling mom. We got to call mom at work. You know what I mean? Fuck, you know. And so tie this bandana. So I put this bandana on it, you know, and tie the bandana up. And try to stop the bleeding. I'm holding my leg. We call mom at work. I tell her, like, yo, you know, got shot in the leg with a bow and arrow, you know. And so she was like, oh my God, you know, like we had swords, real swords. We had real weapons, you know what I mean? Like real shit.
Well, we all did growing up.
Yeah, some kids didn't, you know what I mean? But ours were like...
I didn't know that kid.
Yeah.
Like, we had the real
deal.
Whips and
hell yeah,
nunchucks and
that's the dope life. And Bruce Lee was the shit, you know what I mean? And so we called her, and I called her. She was going to come home, and I was like, no, I'm fine. And stop the bleeding, da-da-da-da-da. And she was like, hell no, I'm coming. Dude, I never went to the hospital. I got a hole in my leg still to this day, right? But look, ask my brother who shot me, he shot me, right? Ask Jason who shot me, Jason shot me. Right? So I don't know. Like, I say my brother shot me because I just always thought my brother shot me because I was like, yo, you shot me when we went in the thing. You know what I mean? But like Jason swore up and down in his memory that he did. You know, he don't know. You know, I don't know what happened, right? And it was a compound bow, right? Or my brother said it was the slingshot. And Jason thought it was a crossbow. And Jason still has his crossbow to this day, right? Wow. So like, and I'm like, yo, he posted on Facebook one time. I was like, yo, is that it?
Is that it?
Yeah, is that it? You know what I mean? So like, who shot me? God knows. Like, I don't know, you know. But anyway, tell the story like my brother shot me, you know. But yeah, I got shot in the leg with a fucking arrow, man.
That's a great story.
Yeah, it's
so young, too.
It's so stupid, yeah.
So young.
And then I got into a fight my first fucking day of 4th grade.
In Nashville?
Yeah, my first day in the Nashville school. I was in 4th grade. I went to West Mead Elementary, and they were like kindergarten through 4th, and so I was just starting. So all these people knew each other. They had been to school since kindergarten. You know what I mean? I didn't know none of these people. You know, and I got into a fight with a dude and in the bathroom my first day, and just spin kick and kicked him in the face.
Oh God!
Yeah, I thought it was a shit.
That kid?
Yeah, and then everybody was like, "Yo, this kid," you know, and it was like, "Yeah, I know kung fu, right?" Everybody was like, "You know, son, you know something." Like I never confirmed nor denied the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just be the dude that knows kung fu, whatever, right? But yeah, it was stupid. It was over something stupid. I didn't even know anybody, you know. But that led to my understanding of where and how I was gonna be here. You know what I'm saying?
I never understood that. The kids fighting.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I was never that kid. I was never the kid fighting on the playground.
I was always the kid fighting. I fought this fat kid in the 8th grade in Alabama, and he was
fat kid.
Yeah. And he, you know, to his credit, like he didn't even want to fight me. You know, he started it. I took offense to it. And so I said things back to him. And I was like, "Oh, dog, like it's finna go down," you know. And he was like, "Nah, man, like I don't want him," you know what I mean? But like, yeah, we ended up fighting, and like I had it all mapped out in my head, and it never goes that way, you know, never goes anything like that really. And he was getting the best of me, dog. Like he was big, and I kicked him in the stomach, and that shit didn't. I kicked him in the stomach. I kicked him in the stomach, and then it didn't faze him, man. I was like, in my brain, like, like I was going to kick him. He was going to
fall back.
Lean over or something, and then he was
you're going to bring the knee up, and then you're going to, yeah.
Dude, I had it mapped out, dog. It did not go like that. I kicked him. Man, this fool rushed me and picked me up and was like, I mean, dude was about to body slam my ass, and so I'm punching him in the head, and like it was just stupid. It was stupid. He slammed me down. He was on top of me. I couldn't do shit, and but I was kicking my legs up. I kept kicking my legs because he was up high on top of me. So I kept kicking my legs up like I can get the back of my ankles around his face or something. You know what I mean? So I can kick him back. Right?
Oh, because
like
you got no, yeah.
So I can. You know what I mean?
No other option.
Yeah, I got no other option. I can't move this dude. You know, and. But it was so wild because like he was swinging at me and I'm moving my head side to side. And he's hitting the grass, you know, and I'm like, oh shit. And I kick my legs up again. But when I kick my legs up, he don't know what I'm doing. He just thinks I'm trying to buck him. So as I kick my legs up, And I could tell I was getting close to his head because the kids that were around, the crowd was like, oh shit, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting close. And I eventually get my legs up both enough to where the backs of my heels get around his face. And I kick back and pull him back up off me. But on the way back down, his head hits a rock that was embedded in the grass on the back of his head whenever I kicked him back, you know? And it hit his head and knocked him out. And I was like, I looked down, I was like, oh shit. And I was wearing gloves, like I was going to fight in these gloves like an idiot. What a
Were they the
fucking
fingerless
idiot.
gloves?
Yeah, fingerless gloves.
I knew it.
What an
You're
idiot,
that kid.
right?
You were that kid.
Yes, I was an idiot. And so, but we got up and ran. We didn't even fucking help this kid, you know? Thank God he was fine. We ended up being friends after that, you know? I ended up being friends with the guy in 4th grade. Like, I ended up being friends with all these people. Tula. And, but yeah, man, it was just stupid, like stupid shit, you know?
Right.
Always stupid shit.
That's so great.
But yeah, I don't want to tell them more of this.
That poor dude.
Stupid.
You can fight
But,
people for it.
But yeah, man, no, it's been wild. It's been interesting. It's been a roller coaster for sure, and I'm grateful for it all because it all taught me everything that I needed to understand and know to be the man I am today. You know what I mean? Real shit. All of it. When I think back on all the dumb shit, like I'm just glad that I'm free and breathing. That's what I say all the time. I'm just glad I'm free and breathing. Yeah. Because all that shit was dumb as hell. And I ain't even remotely scratched the surface. These are stupid little stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, just now it's just that it's that quiet life. That's why the quiet life is so important to me.
Right.
You know?
Well, but you go out more than I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you would come Top Golf, and I'd be like, I'm
But
good.
you know what though, Joe? Like, but I respect you so much, and I your life is really dope. Because you have the wife at home and you have the kids at home. And, like, that's something I was never able to pull off. Mm-hmm. That was something I was never able to be successful at. Right. And that's also a big hole in my accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? That shit, like, I guess it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean?
I'm not got away, but it's there. It's a hole.
It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Not to say that it's not in the future. I don't know, you know? But it wasn't for me so far. I tried to have that, you know what I mean? But
not many guys can do it.
No, I wanted to.
Not nowadays, especially nowadays. Not many people are married with children, and happy in a house.
And they're not willing to work at it. You know, there's not a lot of the morality is gone, and there's a lot of the stuff that it takes to do that. Yeah, that people aren't willing to do.
No, not a lot. I mean, it's both ways. It's reciprocal. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't work. Like if you're willing to do it, and then she's not. Right. And then you got to work on that, and then you're just like, you know what? I'm tired of this.
Yeah, and that sucks. That really sucks for me because I want to pour my all into a situation.
Like you do with everything.
Like I do with everything else. I go all in.
Music. Yes. Wood. Painting. Everything.
I'm going all in. I'm going all in. I'm never half-assing shit. You know what I mean? I'm not a part-time person. You know, I'm going all in, and it's just I went all in repeatedly with the wrong people. Now they were fine. They were the right person then.
For
you
the
know
time.
What I mean? For the time.
But it didn't work out.
No, it didn't.
Obviously.
And you know, even on that note, as a person, on that note, that's why I was single for so long. Because I was like, when I look back at my relationships, I look back at them and I was like, yo, like, you know, I may not have been the factor for the demise of that particular relationship, or that one, or that one, or that one, or a majority of them, or whatever, right?
Sure.
But I was the common denominator. So what is wrong with me? What is it about me that keeps picking these people that aren't for me long term?
Well, maybe it's just you don't. It's not like you don't love yourself, but you're not done loving yourself.
Or it could all be a possibility. What I came up with, what I came up with was that I needed to still work on myself. It wasn't me that was creating the demise. Yeah. But I was still taking a part of it, right? Yeah. So there's still something wrong. I need to gather myself spiritually.
Yeah, but if you're not complete, you can't have other things. I mean, kids, they're forced in your life, obviously, because that's that. You know what I mean? That's just the destiny of kids.
Right.
But if you're not whole with yourself in total love, secure, you're not going to be able to share that with
Right.
friends or
Right.
wife
Now,
or whatever, girlfriend.
Me comfortably, I am, right? But like I wasn't picking people for it wasn't happening for the long term. I was all in.
Right.
But it was always like a shortage of matched energy.
But yeah.
I couldn't.
But you don't get to pick your soulmate.
Right.
I know that. Like
Right.
I know that.
Yeah,
Like you don't
right.
like you can't tell me. You couldn't tell me
Right.
that's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No way.
Exactly. And so that's the thing though. Like I was picking these people, and it took me a long time to understand something. And it seems very simple, but it was very monumental whenever I finally processed the information, right? And Zabar and I, funny enough, Zabar and I just had this conversation, and I said, man, it took me so long to understand that just because I like you, right? So I meet a female, and
Right.
I like her, and then she likes me. So there's this woman, I like you, you like me, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean we have to be together. Like I was always thought that if you meet a woman and you like her and she likes you, then you're together. Right?
That's
Let's
easy.
keep doing
That's
this.
easy, right?
Yeah. And that's not the case. And so in my recent life, this past 5 years or so, it's like been that you go out on dates or you go hang out with these women or whatever the case may be, and you spend time with them, and then you're cool. Okay, cool. I like you. I like you. Okay, cool. Let's go eat or whatever the case may be, and then leave. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. we don't have to enter into this lifelong commitment. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And so, but historically, coming up, I thought I was supposed to be in a relationship. I was best suited to be in a relationship because I wanted to cater. That's my nature, is to cater and love and respect. And women to me were superheroes.
Sure.
I mean, I watched women raise me. I watched my grandmother, who passed away in 1998. I watched her raise me, step in when my father wasn't handling his business. I watched my mother go through all the things she went through, 2-time breast cancer survivor, abuse after abuse after abuse, right? I saw her still do her best to take care of me. I have a lot of women friends that are actual single mothers, and that and the stuff they do is just superhero-esque,
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So women are super dope to me, and I have the utmost respect for them.
That's not all
And,
women.
oh no, it's
Just
not
the
all.
one. Yeah. Okay.
No,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
But don't get it twisted.
No,
That's not
but
all.
but it's not all. It's not all of us either. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's good ones, and then there's fucking dudes that go to every bar and hang out and don't handle their business, don't take care of their kids, and that's not every one of us either. We
Yeah.
can't lump
But
anyone.
it's the
into
people. The people I hang around with are.
that. Yeah. Well,
I can choose and
yeah,
pick
change.
that.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
You need to change and pick that. But no, man, it's just I just want to be all in all of facets of my life.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to be some old bullshit, I don't want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it, and let's do it every day. Let's make it happen. Like, we're going to make this business happen. We're going to do it every fucking day. I'm going to work every day at this shit, man. I
Yeah.
want to be great at this. If I'm going to draw pictures, and that's going to be a part of what I'm known for, then I want to be the best at it. And then I look at other people that are better than me, and I'm like, damn. I'm not envious.
Yeah.
I just want to understand. Let me learn. Let me learn. So I ask questions. But I just want to be all in with everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be your friend 24/7. I'm not gonna turn my back. I'm not gonna when you're not here. I'm not gonna dog you out and all that old shit. You know what I mean? I'm just a loyalist, and that is just in my moral compass.
Right.
And that's what I want to be known for. When it's all said and done, and which I have plans for that.
Yes.
And I have plans for that.
Yes.
And when it's all said and done, I hope that I did my part, and I hope that I reached people, and I hope that we can all share stories and laugh and love, and that be the ticket. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That kind of memory.
Right.
So
I could just play this podcast.
yeah,
Day
basically.
of the funeral.
Yeah.
Just in case I forget.
Yeah.
Or
Just
we don't find
store
it.
it.
Yeah.
Like all that other footage. Just
Save,
store it.
Save it. Save it for later.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. Dude, we could do this. You know we could do this.
What?
All damn night long.
Yeah, I know. What time is it?
I don't know.
Well, let's cut it short.
Fuck.
Not
dude.
short. What are we? Almost 1.5 hours. That's good. You gotta get thing.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take Min Min at some point, but I guess I haven't said.
That's good. I
Hey,
mean, we're
thing.
good.
No.
I mean, I
man,
just
but,
wanted a small glimpse into
Yeah.
Jay Dee. I mean, it's not even. It's really hard to put you into the description, especially when you tell somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you should meet my guy Jay Dee. Yeah, what's he do? Oh shit.
Yeah.
What doesn't he do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really hard to do. So it's, I mean, obviously you can't be contained in an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't want to be. That would be
No, because I want all the funny shit.
Mm-hmm. The funny shit's good.
No, it's real good. But
I guess
you know,
it's
other topics.
Look, it's all good because it's my life. You know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
my
And
real-
people can all get
it's my
this.
real
And
shit.
your dog's really big, and he bit me.
No, I didn't bite
She
you.
bit me.
She didn't bite
She
you.
bit me.
She don't bite. No, she wants to go pee-pees. Yeah, wants to go pee-pees.
Where can people find your?
Yeah. So
Just because they're gonna be curious afterwards.
yeah, well, that's good. IamJD.com is where the music and the art is. And listen, there's 13 albums on IamJD.com. You can live stream them from IamJD.com. There's never any ads. There's never any commercial interruptions. You know, I don't fuck with Spotify and Pandora. I don't do that. I don't do people like we're gonna find you on, and they want it to be like you're official if you're on these places. Listen, I don't fuck with them on purpose. Anybody can get on Spotify. Anybody can be on fucking Apple Music or iTunes or Google Play. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
You can. It's easy. I don't do it on fucking purpose because I want my home. IamJD.com to be the home for all of my art, right? And so I want you to go there. I want you to listen. You can pull it up on your browser. You can close your browser and it'll still play. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, like, it's so funny how people are, I know I'm set in my ways, but like, at the same time, they want things to be official the way in the lens they look at it.
If you don't have the tank necklace with the diamonds, like you didn't make that a rap album.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was how it was back in the day.
Yeah,
If
so
you didn't-
IamJD.com, IamJaydee.com. So you go there. You can listen to all the music. You can stream it to shit. You can just whatever, play it.
Can you download it?
You're now. No.
Oh, okay.
No, but yet one of my DJ homeboys did, and I don't know how he did it. It's a Squarespace site, so might be a way.
Old
right?
DJ Pirate.
Yeah, there might be a way to rip it. Look, if you can rip it. Dog, like, I don't give a fuck. My music is always 100% free and will be till I die.
Right.
I don't want a royalty. Keep your pennies, and I don't care about that stuff. I don't want it. There's so many things in my life that I will monetize. And there's so many things that I will not monetize. And that's going to be my balance. I'm going to maintain my balance. I'm going to feed my wallet and I'm going to feed my spirit. Too many of us are not feeding our spirits and only feeding the wallet. And so we have to maintain our balance in that fashion. So music is always free. I make music because I love to do it. I do it when I want to do it, how I want to do it. And I give it to you and present it in the fashion, package it how I want to. Right? And then so you listen to it or you don't listen to it. Either one of those is beautiful.
Right.
I don't care. Right? And so then there are my books on there. All 3 books are on IamJD.com. And my canvases are for sale on there. And if you come to the exhibit on the 18th in Franklin, they will be cheaper than they are on the site. And my paintings, you can view the paintings on
Or if they were there at 18th.
If they were there on the 18th,
you could have bought them. Just in case this comes out later.
Yes.
I got a lot of editing.
Yeah. So yeah. You could have bought them if you were there. You might have bought it.
So just thank them for coming out. Yeah, say it like
appreciate you. It's done. I'm out.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out on the 18th. That was a great time. We had a great
That's right, man. I'm preemptively, postemptively.
Yeah. What is that?
But yeah. So and then the Ginger Seed Gallery. Conveying.com is the custom furniture site. That's the business. Basically, the Ginger Sea Gallery presents I Am Jay Dee. That's the thing. The Ginger Sea Gallery is the business. It's an LLC, and it's the business. And I filter everything artistically that I do, whether it's furniture, whether it's canvas, whether it's anything. If I monetize it, it gets ran and filtered through the business.
Oh, okay.
And so each time I get a check, actually, and take it to the bank, it's got my name on it. I mean, it's got my mother's name on it, And, it says the Ginger Sea Gallery on the checks. And it's just it's an amazing feeling, really, to first couple of checks I put in there, I cried on my way leaving the bank, And I guess y'all can tell by listening to this, maybe I cry a lot. I don't know.
I want to share that with you. Write me a check.
Yeah.
So that I can share that with you. So
Will you cry?
So that I can.
If you
depends
cry.
how big it is. Depends on how much you're willing to put on the check. Is depending on if I cry.
It's gonna be problematic.
I'll take it, even if it's fictional.
Man, it's just a beautiful thing, man. It's all a beautiful thing, and it's all a blessing, and I'm just grateful for the whole process. You know what I'm saying? Creating and living on my terms is my goal, and it's my real life right now. And I'm not rolling in no dough, you know what I mean? Like I'm not just doing whatever the hell I want to do willy-nilly with finances and stuff like that. That's not real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what is real is that I never have a bad day. My guy Parker, who's my assistant at the Ginger Sea, man, he's just been huge, and he's a great dude, and he helps me more than most people will ever know. You know what I mean? And he's just awesome, and I might have just said he's my assistant, but like he's really my partner. He's my guy. You know what I mean? He helps hold it down.
Yeah.
And just super thorough. And so I've just been very blessed with the people that I have in my life. That are positively impacting me. A lot of people tell me that I've positively impacted them, and and the humble me doesn't know how to accept it.
Right.
But like they don't understand that like people do that to me too. You know what I'm saying? People lend these hands and they contribute, and nobody's self-made. That's some bullshit. So you can chalk that up, man. Nobody's self-made. You know what I mean? Somebody helped you somewhere at some point and at some time. Somebody invested something in you.
Just whether you choose to acknowledge
Whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. Like financially, whether it's financially or spiritually, or a good word, a kind heart, mentally, whatever it is, someone impacted you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people, not enough people, give people the credit that they deserve. They just don't. And it frustrates the shit out of me because
you're big on that one.
I'm big
You're
on
big
that.
on that
yeah,
one.
because because Joe,
just say thank you.
They notoriously fucking don't do it. They just won't do it.
It's hard for people to do it,
but
though.
why, man? It's not hard. Like if someone did something for you, or if you took somebody's style, if you raped and pillaged someone whole shit,
right,
and then took it and embodied it or took pieces from it or whatever, then just say that, dog. Just say it. Yeah, it's gonna make you look fucked up. You should look fucked up if you're doing fucked up shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. But like, just say what the truth is, and then let's get on down the road.
There's the truth thing.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's stupid. Let's just tell the truth, But they can't do it because the fact is that most people feel like they have to be something that they're not, and they do not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the general scheme of things, everyone kind of does that. Like you're not artist or book writer. I mean, that's what you portray as like a human consciousness. Like that, you know what I mean? Like your conscious is whatever you are. Right?
But that's my real life.
Right, but as a human, that's your real life.
Yes.
But as a spiritual, like you're more than that, obviously. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying, so. But that to that degree, and then they just take it a step farther. They're like, playing a role, might as well play a deeper role.
Yeah, or the fact that in their real life, it's just not that interesting.
It's not. No one's life is really that interesting.
some people's is.
Yeah.
Some people's got some great stories.
You
know
got
what I'm
great
saying?
stories.
I appreciate it.
But a lot of people, they wouldn't find that interesting.
Right. Or they never did anything with their life.
Right.
They never rolled any dice, so they never hit no point, right? They never did anything. They never explored anything. They never were in any sort of situation that was uncomfortable, that they did something and survived it, right? People love to appeal to the masses like they've overcome so much when a lot of people's lives were not riddled with hardship at all.
Maybe it was, they just don't know how to explain it. It's
True. Or if your life wasn't riddled with hardship at all, then wouldn't you just fucking send what up? You know what I mean? And say thanks?
Yeah.
Right? Like embrace that. Like
Right.
when people want it to be a struggle. Fuck that. That would have been cool as shit to have some easy shit happen, you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But it's what I wrestle with my son now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want him to not go through what I went through, but learn what I learned.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's not. You can't have that. You can't have both.
Right, but you know,
I do the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to remember also, like, I never, as a kid, like your stories as a kid
are foolish.
They're crazy
Mm-hmm.
and they're touching, and it's amazing. I've never went through that. I've never wanted for shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
that.
pretty dope.
I don't know that struggle. Like, my life has been, besides a couple days where I'm just irritated for no reason, like, my life's fucking perfect. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And
now.
that's dope.
Yeah. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, and I guess it's how I choose to look at or view it. You know what I mean? Like, you never had anyone die? Like, yeah, but, you know, I look at it differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you never been poor? Like, never been poor. You know what I mean? So I don't know that. So I share it, you know, through you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so I got to, you know, raise my kids hoping that they don't go down my friend's path. Like,
Absolutely.
not my path. Go down my path. My path was the shit.
Yeah. Pretty good. Go down my path.
Yeah. I got
that's pretty good.
wife, kids.
That's pretty good.
I got.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And not only, like, you know, am I cool, you know, like, money wise, like, I'm good. Like, I never wanted more than I could. I mean, I do want, but you know what I mean? But my life is richer than anything anyone can even have.
Absolutely. And but that's the perspective that we have to reach. And look, we're so much in control of that through the blessing of free will. Right? So but you weren't in your own way so much of your life, which is dope. So you weren't in your own way. I was in my own way so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was homeless for an extended period of time, I mean, whether it was I was homeless in Colorado for a while. And when I was homeless when I was young, sleeping in the park off of Charlotte, right? Like, but these were really choices.
Yeah.
That, you know, that I had kind of, that I'd made inevitably by being in my own way. You know, and creating some of my own difficulties. I had difficulties that made me the person that I was, and then my response to the difficulties was a lot of times was more difficulties.
Right.
You know, and so I was compounding my own issues that were not mine, that were mine but not caused by me. I was compounding them by reacting in a fashion that was compounding. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, maybe initially, it wasn't. I was born into a situation. Then I was born into a situation. My response to the situation was create more situations, all of which were negative.
Sure.
So then I had to get to a point where I needed to get out of my own way. I needed to quit being my own problem. There's gonna be enough of those. Come anyway. Life is going to kick you enough issues. Yeah. Don't create any on your own. You know what I mean?
Normal life is going to create.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
yeah. No, but I mean, I get it. I mean, I was raised, I mean, just like anyone else is raised. You're raised, you know, how you're raised to be taught a certain way, to learn a certain way, to do a certain way.
Or you're not raised.
Right. And you're just kind of out in
learning your own, yes.
Yeah. But you got to teach yourself at some point.
And yeah, I did. I just was a long road of the wrong choices.
Yeah.
A long road of long choices. Wrong. They were super wrong. A lot of them were, I could justify them all I want.
At the time.
At the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
no, I've been faced with the same thing. It's just what you choose to do with it at the time.
Yes.
makes the future, the future really doesn't exist.
Yes.
The past don't exist. It's just the present, of course.
Right.
But, it's at that present moment is when you need to go, hey,
Right.
do it or don't do it.
For sure.
And you might
Yeah.
do it and end up in your path, or maybe don't do it and end up in my path. And either way, we're still here.
Yeah.
Right
Thank
now.
God. Thank God, though. Free and breathing.
Right.
So, well, man, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
everything you're doing. I love you, man. And I'm excited about this venture.
I mean, it's just the start because
yeah.
we got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, man.
Which one
but,
of these?
The bottom one. My
You could
button
tell.
was wrong.
You could tell.
But yeah, man, the Flock With Us thing is like, and so look, so for the listeners that don't know, which is almost all of you, there was a point in time when I was running Untouchable Records and I had a bunch of artists and I was footing the bill for everything. I had the studio, I was paying for the photo shoots, I was getting all the graphics done, and I was just wanting my artists to record and be free as artists to make and create whatever they wanted to. Right? So I didn't want it to be a financial burden for them. So I was going to bear the weight financially. So I just wanted them to come. And it was amazing watching people that claimed they loved a thing never do the thing they claim they love.
Yeah, you know what? When I did Slim the other day, when I sat down with Slim, he told me, we talked about the UNT, and he said, if Jay Dee didn't go to pick these guys up and make them come do this, he said they never would have came out.
That's true. And that's very true. And that's what I'm saying. So, but what I want everybody to know is that, I believe it was 2012, maybe 2011. In 2011, I was just like, man, I gotta do something. I've got this label with all these artists, and everybody has a picture on the page. Everybody has their own page on the website and all this whole shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember that. That was dope.
So, and we were creating those sites, remember, through that company or whatever it was. Yeah, so we were the CMS software, the content management system. So anyway,
I can't remember what it's Karma.
Yeah,
Karma.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. So anyway, I remember calling a few of my key people. I think it was 2011. I called you. I called Angel, and I called Cosmo, and I said, "Yo, I think I'm just gonna shut untouchablerecords.com down, and I'm running a fucking daycare. You know what I mean? I'm just babysitting people, and and the only new music that ever goes on there is mine.
Yeah.
And so I want to do this I am JD thing. You know what I'm saying? And I want to brand me because I know that I got me, and I know that I'll churn out work." And I remember it was so funny because you didn't know I called Cosmo. Cosmo didn't know I called you. Angel didn't know I called Joel, right? And every one of you said, "Yeah, I think it's about time. It's about damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time." Right? So, and that was true. And that was huge. It was a very pivotal time in my life that I wanted to make that move.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, I knew that I had me, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to kind of get on a weight loss program and do what I needed to do.
But also, all the people who were a part of the label, the ones who, by the time you decided to shut it down, the ones who were actually going to do shit for themselves have actually branched out and already started doing their own thing.
Absolutely.
Cosmo, he left.
Yes.
Slim did his own thing, wholesale. Angel did her own thing with the music, the band.
Yep.
What is
Still
it?
doing it. El Acoustic Soul.
Yeah, joerilla.com. All that.
Yeah.
Who else did anything? Then everyone else just kind of went back to their normal life.
Yeah, and you know,
Not saying
and
that they're all leeches. I'm just saying like they just
for
went
sure.
back.
Yeah, and I mean, some of them are not with us anymore, and
Sure.
so yeah, man, it was just but it was, and that's what I'm saying. It was kind of like Untouchable Records is a family, it is and was and still is very much so a home for people to be free and create as artists. I still do this. You know what I'm saying? I still lend my hand. I still extend my hand. I still do that to people to create freely and let it be about the art.
To
you know
anyone who wants to do it.
Yeah, damn near anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to be careful with how I spend my energy and my time. You know what I mean? But
That's your dog, by the way.
yes, she grunts.
It's a 200-pound dog on the ground.
She's not 200 pounds.
Pick her up. Pick her up.
Nah,
Tell you
hell
she's 200 pounds.
Hell no.
It's a 200-pound pit bull that actually bit me earlier
Yeah, she didn't
on the
bite
tummy.
you.
It bit me on the tummy.
Oh, you did not buy him, did you? You did not. But yeah, man, it's just about the art, and it's about creating freely, and it's about loving yourself and loving what you do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing, man. And that's actually like I said, whenever I say where I see myself in the future, as far as when it's all said and done, that's what I want to be a huge part of my legacy. Is that what I want to help people achieve for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
I can't personally, I can't see myself in the future. Never have.
Really?
Yeah. I just kind of live for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, people say,
That's interesting.
you see in 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, I'm going to have a label, and I'm going to work. I'm not going to work at McDonald's anymore. And
Yeah.
I remember people always just ask me, you would hear that question. What do where do you see yourself in 10 years? I remember the teachers would honestly ask me that.
Yeah.
The teachers
They
would say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I would just kind of look at them and be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I can't see future. I cannot see myself in a future.
Man, dude, like I got placements all figured out. You
See
know
what I
I'm
mean?
saying?
Yeah.
Like, not that I got it figured out.
No, but
right?
you see it. You see
Yeah.
your plan, just like you're beating up the
For
fat
sure.
kid.
Yeah.
No offense to the fat kid. Like, you knew what you were going to do.
offense to the fat
The
kid.
kick.
I wish I could remember his
the
name.
thing.
He's a pretty cool dude. But yeah.
Maybe
whether-
he'll see you.
Listen,
If he sees you.
look, plans are yours and eruptions are God's. It's in my book. It's a motto, my credo. It's all of that, right?
Yeah.
Plans are yours and eruptions are God's. Real shit. All we're going to do is make plans.
Right.
The whole time we're here, we're going to make plans to do this, to see this person, to date this person, to marry this person, to get this job, to create this thing, to move here and live this and get this career and all this stuff.
Right.
Have these kids. We're just making plans. Some of them are going to work and some of them are not. I believe wholeheartedly that the ones that are working are lining up with through your intuition with God's plan. It says in the Bible, regardless if you want to believe the Bible or not, or whatever the case may be, we all pick and choose.
It's in print.
We all pick and choose.
You do have it. So,
it
listen
says
to it.
the days were fashioned for us before there were any, right?
Uh-huh.
So if all this stuff is some big, long divine plan, then that is the case, and that is the belief. Then we are just trying to figure out what it is, what's going to line up, what is for me. Oh, okay, this is for me because it did work. That wasn't for me because it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And so plans are yours, and eruptions are God's. Real shit. So a lot of people want to discredit and discount, of course, right? So they say, okay, JD, but look, what if you go to this job and then you don't get hired? Is it not for me and I just fucking quit? And I was like, dude, first off, it's not all that fucking black and white, dog. Like, there's many shades of gray in this life.
Oh, yeah. A lot more to it.
So how much did you want the job? Did you love the job? Were you passionate about the job? Do you feel like you were supposed to get the job? Maybe you went, they didn't hire you because you didn't have enough skills yet. So you need to go back home. You need to sharpen all your fucking tools. You need to get all your shit together. You need to improve yourself and then go back again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if you're ready and it is for you, then you will get it. And if you didn't and you're still passionate about it, then go back, learn some more shit, get your shit together, train a little bit more, go back again, right? And so it's not that fucking simple. People want the easy way out, right? So, like, look, if you went to that job and you thought, yeah, this is for me, you know what I'm saying? And then you go and then they fucking tell you nah, and you don't
Yeah.
get hired, and then you're like, oh, then it wasn't for you. You should have been there. Your stupid ass shouldn't have been there anyway. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's just people want to discount and discredit things whenever the answers are all right there. Like, I sent you some Gary V shit, right? And like, I love that dude, and I
Yeah.
watch his shit all the time. But I sent you some Gary V shit. You saw it, and you were like, it's a shame that fucking people can't get this for themselves.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
need this guy to tell them some of the most simplistic, fucking core basic bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? It's not bullshit. The things he's saying is real, but it's just sad that people need someone to tell them such a fucking common
Yeah, and that's what I said.
thing.
It's sad that people need this.
Right. Absolutely. Not Gary V's dope, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm not into Gary Vee that
Yeah.
much. I know you get it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get.
yeah.
I don't. It's not for me.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I just don't get it.
But like, you know, but you know, there's so much of our own answers. I've said it a million times, right? So you're born into this world. You've got that God gave you and granted you all these things. You got this tool bag. And you got all these tools, right? So you're like, okay, cool. I got the tools. You got the tools. Everybody got the tools, right? What are you going to do with them? Are you going to open your bag up and pull them out and say, okay, if I drill this, if I pull it really hard, it's too much, and learn drill control, and then really learn to use all these tools that He gave you in this tool bag, right?
Right.
You're totally equipped. Or you're going to sell all your tools and I don't even know what to do with this and throw them away and lose them and be negligent, and you know what I mean? And then your life's in shambles and you can't fix anything. And they're like, shit, man, what the fuck? And you go to God and you're like, yo, hey, you
Yeah.
know, my life's in shambles. And He's like, I gave you this fucking tool bag. You know what I mean? Like, what'd you do with the tools, you know? I never even looked at them.
Is that like where the guy's out there drowning?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's,
And-
yeah.
and-
oh, stuck on the island and
Oh,
the boat
yeah,
and the
and the
plane.
boat comes by and says, "Yo, you need help?" He said, "No, I'm good. God got me."
Yeah, yeah, God
and
got me.
then so they take off,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
another boat come by.
Yeah,
and says,
yeah,
"Yo,
like-
you need
yeah,
help?"
yeah, yeah.
He's like, "No, I'm good. God got me."
Real
and then he
shit.
died. He gets up to God.
Why didn't you help me?
Yeah, God said, "Why didn't you?" He's, I sent two
Yeah.
people for you.
Right, and it's real shit though. Like, and they tell it on the island where with the helicopter and the boat and the plane or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, it's all the many variations. But my variation is the tool bag. There's so much of our own stuff that we can fix through His grace, right, or her grace, or whatever you want to feel.
The
grace.
the
I don't even care.
We'll just
I don't
call it
even-
the grace.
I don't even care, dog. Like, I don't even care. I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. Religion is some man-made laws and eat the cracker and the drink the thing and the come at this time
Yeah,
and give us
that's a different
10% of
thing,
your
yeah.
shit. You know, no, I'm cool. But you know, believe whatever you want to believe. Whatever, if whatever you believe makes you a better person,
If it gets you there,
yeah,
take it.
cool. You Buddhist? All right, dog. Like,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But yeah, man, like, there's so many things that we can fix, and He gave us all the parts and pieces, and we can fix them.
Yeah. So just
Whether you're gonna do it or not.
yeah. I say you live in the now.
Mm-hmm.
The past and the future are just in your mind.
But what if you live into the future?
Well, see, I'm blessed enough to have to live in the present. Like, I'm able to live in the present. So
Right.
I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I don't know about through the street. I
Yeah.
don't know about the dog on the floor.
Right.
I know me
Yeah.
and mine.
Yeah.
So that's how, I'm just
I just know that-
extremely blessed
that-
to be able to
that-
do that.
I know people that don't have any plans, that make no plans, right? Not that you don't have any plans. I'm just saying, I know someone that says, "Hey man, Jesus is coming soon, and
Right.
why should we even buy a house?" And then you live in my pool house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, why get out of my damn pool house if I didn't need to buy a house?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
you're him.
Yeah, but no, so,
You are he.
No, so no, he didn't want to make any plans. He didn't want to make no plans because he didn't even believe the future existed.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But yet it keeps existing,
In your future.
but he keeps living here. And he keeps being homeless
You gotta
because
kick
he
him
keeps
out.
making...
You gotta kick
yeah.
him out.
Oh, I did.
That's your business.
No, I did.
Yeah,
I
you-
removed.
You
Yeah. I removed for sure.
But yeah.
But like I keep watching him not make any plans and not execute and not get a wrangle, not use any of his tools to fix his own life because he believes that any moment, like 10 years ago, he told me Jesus is coming. And so it's all going to go to shit. So why would he even get a house? Why would he even do that? Why would he even make any plans? Why would we even do any of that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but then I keep seeing him be miserable. So, like, don't be miserable if you chose that. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you do with your life. You want to live in the woods? I don't give a fuck. Cool. That shit seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see you there.
If you're happy there, you know what I mean? Cool. I'm not here to knock nobody. All I'm going to continue to do, Joe, is something that you know me to do and you know I'm going to do. All I'm going to do is continue to make my plans, and some things are going to work and some things are not, you know? And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to create goals.
To be you.
And to be me.
You're
to
going to
create
be
goals
you.
and smash them and keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anyone that knows you knows you. You're gonna be like,
That's
hey,
it.
that's Jay Dee. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go, you know? So, but man, I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, man, we got to go.
Appreciate you, brother.
Oh, we're good.
Word.
Yeah, we're good. We'll just pick up later. We should have started with
episode
the spiritual
1.
stuff. We should have started with the spiritual stuff first. That was good.
Episode 1.
That was good shit.
Season 1.
Nah, it is what it is. It's just here.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
The sit down flock with us with joerilla.
It's interesting, though.
Bitch.
Is this new?
Oh no, it's
Is this
dope.
new for you? You've
No,
been on
it's
a
dope.
podcast before?
Yeah. But I only did a podcast with people I knew because.
Like, oh, fuck me then, right?
No,
That's
no,
new, just me.
no.
You knew everything. The Jay Dee character again.
no.
He does everything.
But yeah,
right,
man, I
you did.
appreciate you.
Interview?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do interview?
Yeah, Fire Pit Friday.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it was
Fire!
dope.
I remember. I wanted to be on Fire Pit Friday.
Yeah, they were dope. They were dope. I just talked to Jim the other day. He's sick. Shout out to Jim. Get better.
Jim,
brother.
feel better.
Yes, sir.
Jim, you should have had me on.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We'll do it again.
This is it.
Yeah.
Let's have Jim on.
Yeah,
We can bring Jim on here, and I can kinda
rectify, right the wrong.
I can stick it to
make
him.
it all, make it all right in the world.
Like, you know why you're here?
Yeah.
It's because I wanted you here. And
Yeah,
you didn't
man.
want me there.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel?
Yeah. Eat
Yeah,
that.
man. Dope.
Dope. All right.
Man, I love you, brother.
Thank you.
All
Love
right,
you
man.
too. Yep. Oh, wait. All love. I should have just said all love. I love you too sounds really weird.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Not
Love.
at
All love. What's it? Slim says. Slim
No,
says
it's-
love. Love.
yeah,
Like he
love.
just leaves it at that. I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, because some people aren't man enough. I tell my brothers I love them.
Yeah. But,
love you, man.
But Slim still needs to be, he still has to be cool about it.
Yeah.
And that's, you know.
No, and he is cool.
So
He
say-
says love.
Yeah, so say,
It's dope.
yeah, all right, man, be safe. Well, I seen him
Yeah.
the other day, and I was like, yeah, it's good to see you. First time I seen you since you got out.
Yeah.
I said, all right, man, be good. I love you. He said, yeah, love. And he just slams the door, and I'm just like, did we have a moment?
Yeah, you had a moment.
I think
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
And the same thing
Yeah.
when we talked to him on the phone when he would call.
Yeah.
And he would be
I
like,
love.
yeah, love.
Yeah,
And then you would
Real
just
shit.
hear background chatter.
Yeah.
You're like, hello?
You're supposed to hang up.
Yeah, hello? Hello? And he just leaves the phone, I guess, hanging during the thing.
Yeah.
That dude's so cool.
For sure.
Glad Slim's back.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.